ATMC TV's Game of the Week is brought to you by J.P. Russ & Son Grading and Clearing, Community Finance of South Carolina, Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue's Haunted Trail, The Doghouse Grill 2, Strand Termite and Pest Control, the Brunswick Beacon, and ATMC.
Welcome to the first round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association State 3AA High School Football Playoffs. The number 15 seeded West Brunswick Trojans have made the trek across the bridge to take on the number 2 seeded New Hanover High School Wildcats. Jay, these two teams are familiar opponents as both compete in the Mid-Eastern 3A, 4A conference. This New Hanover team, we've talked a lot about its offense. The Wildcats have scored at least 30 points 9 times this season and have scored 40 or more points in 7 of those contests. This is an offensive unit for New Hanover that will go as far as junior quarterback Blake Walston will take them.
Well, Sam Hickman, that's a long way. Mr. Walston, 3,026 yards through the air coming into tonight's game. He's thrown 35 touchdown passes, 6'4", junior quarterback. He's the real deal. This offense averages 438 yards per game, so they're a real juggernaut. Wiz Vaughn is the principal receiver for the team. He's caught 64 catches this year, 1,140 yards. He's got 1,573 all-purpose yards, and he's accounted for 18 touchdowns. So offensively, they are tough, averaging 41.6 points per game. They play good defense too, Sam, only giving up 13 points a game. Keep an eye on number 10. Naz Brown, 5'10" linebacker, 92 tackles, a big-time hitter. And number 56, Grant Daly, 6'2", 2¼ senior linebacker, 104 tackles, 19 tackles for loss. He'll be in the game tonight. You'll see a lot of Mr. Grant Daly.
And Jay, you spoke about Walston and Wiz Vaughn. This New Hanover offense also features speedsters Freddie Taylor and Cole Tanner. So it goes without saying, West Brunswick has a tough task ahead of it tonight. These two teams met about a month ago in conference play. New Hanover won the game 52-21. Jay, the game was a little closer than the score indicated, and the Trojans had a lot of success running the ball. Senior running back Jakari Bethel figures to be part of the equation here tonight for the Trojans.
And you're right, Sam. And if West is going to be successful here this evening, in all likelihood, they're going to have to be able to run the football. As you mentioned in the first game this year when they played, Jakari Bethel did a pretty good job. He's done a pretty good job all season long. Over 700 yards rushing on the year for the senior, and defensively over 100 tackles. He and Russell Gore are really a dynamic 1-2 punch defensively for the Trojans. Owen McDowell, keep an eye on McDowell tonight. He's the quarterback, so it's easy to do. But the thing you want to watch with Owen tonight, and we've talked about this during the season, is his arm and his legs. He's over 1,000 yards collectively, 600 through the air, 400 rushing the ball. This team does well when Owen makes decisions and gets a chance to roll the option and keep the ball and run. And rushing the ball may be the way that they have to go against a real tough defensive unit tonight in New Hanover. The other thing that West is going to probably need to do is such a strong passing attack, a lot of pressure on the secondary. So Jalen Jones-Bay, 4 interceptions on the year. DeAndre Clariday, the young sophomore, who's just gotten better and better every game. And Noah Johnson also patrolling from the defensive secondary. These guys are going to have to step up tonight. They're going to get a lot of opportunity because that ball's going to be sailing.
And Jay, these two programs finished this regular season on different notes. New Hanover had a chance to win the Mid-Eastern Conference Championship but fell at Hoggard last week, while the Trojans picked up a rivalry win over South Brunswick 33-0 last week in Charlotte. Throw all that stuff out the window. It's the first round of the state playoffs. Number 2 seed New Hanover, number 15 seed the West Brunswick Trojans. Stay right here with us for the opening kickoff.
All right.
Welcome to a frosty Legion Stadium. My partner here, Jake Holmes, he's from the Baltimore area, so this cold probably doesn't bother him. But for a beach boy, you know me, it's a little nippy, partner.
It's a little nippy tonight, and when that wind picks up, it gets even a little nippier, if that's a word, Sam. But it's pretty good football weather. You know, what the heck? It's that time of the year when it should be a little cool, not 80 degrees like it was earlier this week.
First round of the state playoffs. The kickoff is fielded by DeAndre Clariday. He's going to bring it out. He tries to run over a New Hanover defender, and he is dropped inside West Brunswick's 20-yard line. Jay, it looked for a moment like the ball may have come out. Really nice tackle there by the New Hanover coverage team.
Yeah, Cameron Newkirk in on the kick coverage that time, 6'1" junior. He's got an interception on the year. He's got a big-time open field tackle to start this game tonight for New Hanover.
First down, Trojans.
Ball is marked on the 17-yard line. The Trojans will get the ball first. New Hanover won the toss, deferred, so we'll get our first look at this West Brunswick offense. That's a handoff to big number 42, Jakari Bethel. He fights his way near the 20-yard line out to the 19. We'll give him a pickup of 2.
Jakari Bethel, the ball carrier.
Trying to see who was in on the tackle that time.
On the tackle.
Rasheed Rogers in on the stop, number 44. He's a junior for the Wildcats. West is going to try to establish something on the ground, Sam, and the O-line is going to have to work hard against this big Wildcat unit.
Boy, Jay, Bethel got that handoff, and right as he received it, he was met by a host of New Hanover defenders. A loss of yardage there is going to bring up a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, a bunch of orange shirts in on the stop that time, led by number 9, Josh Anderson, from his outside linebacker position, but sets up a 3rd and 9. Not a real good down and distance situation for quarterback Owen McDowell.
New Hanover sporting gray pants, orange tops. The Trojans in their normal road unis, green pants, white tops with, of course, the wing helmets. Low snap, McDowell's in trouble. He does fall on it, but the Trojans are going to lose about 5 yards. An ominous start for the Trojans, a minute and a half into the game, and they're going to have to bring on the punt team.
Yeah, exactly not the way that Coach Kelly Williamson wanted to begin this game tonight. And McDowell doing a pretty good job of maintaining possession. Now the bad news is they're going to have to kick the ball from the end zone, and Owen McDowell does handle the punting duties for the Trojans.
Low rugby-style punt for McDowell. It bounces down, and New Hanover's going to get excellent starting field position. They're going to take over 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of West Brunswick.
Yeah, field position game so important. Now the big guy, number 11, Blake Walston, the 6'4" junior quarterback, over 3,000 yards through the air coming into tonight's game. He only has to go about 37 yards on this trip to get into the end zone.
24-yard punt for McDowell, and the Wildcats are in business early. Jay, look at this formation to start the night for New Hanover. 3 receivers to the top of the formation, 1 receiver down to the bottom. Walston in the backfield with Jabez Howard. Walston's going to fire a wide receiver screen. It's caught. I believe that is number 1, Mr. Freddie Taylor, who catches the pass and runs it for a first down. 11 yards on the completion from Walston to Taylor.
33 catches coming into the game tonight for Freddie Taylor. He is quick.
Walston with a shovel pass, and New Hanover's got room. That goes to Vaughn, and he is once again across the first down marker down at the 11-yard line, 15 yards. Jay, I think that's technically a completion as Walston kind of pitched it forward.
Yeah, it's considered a forward pass, and if it is, that's the 65th catch on the year for the Wizard, Wiz Vaughn.
Ball spotted at the West
1,140 yards in receiving for the Wildcats.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line of West Brunswick. Howard with the keeper up the middle. Big Javian McCray meets him along with number 61, Tim Sellers, and a nice job on the interior for the West Brunswick defensive line.
Yeah, McCray and Sellers beat the offensive line that time.
Stop for the Trojans.
Wrapped up the running back.
Second down.
Good first down charge by West that time. They're going to have to do more of that to stop this very potent attack.
Second and 11 from the 12-yard line of West Brunswick. Vaughn in motion for the Wildcats. He takes that handoff around the right side, looking for running room, makes a couple defenders miss, crosses the goal line for a New Hanover touchdown. 8:56 left in the first quarter. Wiz Vaughn with a 12-yard touchdown run, and it's New Hanover 6, West Brunswick 0.
Yeah, 433 yards on the ground for Vaughn this year. Rushing averages 11.4 yards per touch. That's his 8th touchdown rushing. 19th overall for the Wildcats.
Wesley Gaines in for the extra point attempt for the Wildcats on a breezy, frigid night here inside Legion Stadium. Not a good start for the Trojans. Still a lot of football left. Snap is good, hold is down. Gaines extra point attempt, splits the uprights, and 3 minutes and 4 seconds into the opening frame, it's New Hanover 7, West Brunswick 0.
What do we say, Sam? They got the ball out around the West 37, and boom, 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 bang. They're right down the field and into the end zone. You know, this is a squad that was undefeated coming into their contest last week against Hoggard, a much anticipated game, and truth is Hoggard beat them pretty easily last week, 34-7. Hoggard did a great job of tying up Blake Walston, and their fine quarterback Jones had an outstanding game rushing the ball in addition to throwing. So I think New Hanover probably had some spirited practices in preparation for this first round of the 3As against kind of a local conference rival in West Brunswick.
Yeah, Jay, no lingering effects from losing what really was a de facto conference championship game between Hoggard and New Hanover. New Hanover forces a 3-and-out on West Brunswick's first possession, and it takes them 4 plays to score from the 37. Great start for New Hanover.
If West wants to stay, get in this game, they're going to have to avoid mistakes, and that fumbled snap hurt them.
As Clariday once again with the kickoff return. He gets across the 20-yard line. Jay, a little tougher for me to see the yard lines here. Now it looks like he's down at about the 24 where West will have it first and 10.
Yeah, we're working without the monitor tonight, so we got a lot of help though, which is a good news, and we'll try our best to stay up with everything. But yeah, it's kind of tough seeing the lines from up here, Sam.
New Hanover leads 7-0. We're going to get our second look at the West Brunswick offense after going backwards on its first possession. West trying to draw the New Hanover defense offside. No whistle. McDowell takes the snap, tosses it around the right side to Cason Medford. He's looking for running room. He has very little, and he's brought down for a loss of yardage at about the 23.
Logan Santos with the stop, and one thing is very apparent after just a few plays here tonight. This New Hanover team, a lot more speed than West Brunswick. They are quick to the ball.
Yeah, Jay, for a minute there, it looked like Medford had a little running room, and then that lane just closed as Santos chased him down around the sideline.
He made up a lot of ground in a short period of time.
McDowell hands that one off the middle, and Bethel's got some running room that time. He is out across the 25, brought down very close to the 30-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but pretty close.
Bethel 6'1", about $190. He's had a splendid senior season on both sides of the ball, Sam. And got a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and a lot of game we did with him last week. He just kind of wanted it. It seemed like as much, if not more than anyone. So, want to can help you out.
3rd and 6 for the Trojans from their own 28-yard line. McDowell fakes it. He throws a pass. Bethel was open there on the far sideline, but McDowell overshoots him, and that's going to bring up another 4th down situation for West Brunswick.
He had Jakari coming out of the backfield that time. The ball just a little bit overthrown, so sets up a 4th and 5, another punt situation for the Trojans. And really in kind of danger of giving up field position again.
Yeah, Jay, West is going to have to pick up a few first downs to at the very least flip the field here and try and stay in this game. McDowell gets that punt away, and Jay, West is punting straight into the wind here going in this direction. So New Hanover once again great field position. The Wildcats will start on their side of the field at least, but at the 42-yard line with 7:26 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that American flag's waving pretty briskly right into the face of West Brunswick, and of course that means it's at the back of the guy who probably doesn't need much help, and that's 11, Blake Walston. Just watching him in pregame, and he's throwing the ball up quite effortlessly 45, 50 yards and right on the mark.
Walston hands that one off up the middle. Howard's got a lot of running room, makes a defender miss. Bethel brings him down across midfield, and I believe Howard is going to have enough for the first down. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, Jabez Howard is the leading rusher for New Hanover coming into the game. He's now over 700 yards on the year. Averages almost 8 yards a carry. Sam picked up 4 touchdowns.
The ball spotted at the West Brunswick 48-yard line. It's a Bojangles first down. It's bow time.
And so far, West has not been able to come close to stopping New Hanover.
Howard once again on the carry. He's still bouncing around. Nice tackle there by number 10.
Howard, the ball carrier.
I think that's Julian LeGrand there on the tackle for West Brunswick, but Howard picks up a nice chunk of yardage there, brought down at about the 41-yard line, 7 yards for Howard.
You know, Howard's got that deceptive size, 5'10", 180 pounds, but he's really quick and can kind of juke you this way and juke you that way. You're tackling ghosts when you're trying to tackle Jabez Howard.
Howard gets that handoff in a really nice play there by number 44, Russell Gore, West Brunswick's leading tackler, and Jay Gore, one of the leading tacklers in the Mid-Eastern Conference.
Yeah, he's had a great year too. We talked about Bethel, but the other part of that 1-2 linebacker tandem is Russ Gore, and really lined up that time well on Jabez Howard. That is not an easy guy to bring down, but Russell Gore showed you his ability on that play.
Jay, huge play here early in the game. 3rd and 6 from the 44-yard line. Walston fakes the handoff, throws the wide receiver screen, and Wiz Vaughn's got a lot of room down the right sideline. Makes a couple guys miss. He's out across the 35 for a New Hanover first down.
I tell you who made that play that time was
block.
Noah Johnson,
the great block by number 14, Cole Tanner, who allowed the receiver to catch the ball and do the rest. So this is a tough team, Sam. This ain't their first rodeo, as they say, and probably a little spunky coming into this game after getting beat pretty handily last week.
Howard's got that handoff around the left side, dragging a couple West Brunswick tacklers, dropped down at about the 30-yard line. Another nice pickup for New Hanover, who is dominating the line of scrimmage here in the early stages.
Timmy Sellers had a piece of him, was trying to rip that ball away for West that time, but Howard hanging on.
Second down.
Doesn't take New Hanover long to get up over the ball, does it, Sam?
Walston takes the snap, rolls out to his right, finds a receiver open in the middle of the field. West trying to come up with a strip, but that pass was complete. Jay, I believe that was Cole Tanner with the first down catch there for the Wildcats.
It was, and he is a very, very fine receiver. His 32nd catch of the year, over 777 yards. And that time he got a little glimpse of the athleticism of number 11, Blake Walston. A left-handed quarterback, rolling right, had to throw back across his body and delivered a laser strike to 14, Cole Tanner.
Yeah, Jay, New Hanover's offense clicking on all cylinders right now, doing a nice job in the running game and the passing game. Howard takes the handoff, looking for running room. Really nice job by the West Brunswick defense there to hold Howard to minimal yardage there on first down.
Kind of held their blocks at time and played their position and let Howard come back into him. Russell Gore and Timmy Sellers in on the stop that time for the Trojans, but they're going to have to string together several of those kinds of plays to stop this momentum that New Hanover has going right now.
Jay, you get the sense New Hanover had a plan tonight, and that was to commit to the running game. A lot of Jabez Howard here in the early going. He fakes the bubble screen this time, rifles a pass to Tanner in front of the right pylon, And Tanner comes up with the grab for a 19-yard touchdown strike. 4:07 left in the first quarter. It's New Hanover 13, West Brunswick 0.
36 TDs on the year now for Blake Walston, and a little stop and go that time. You could tell he and Cole Tanner have done that a lot this year. Walston delivers a strike. The offensive line gets him all day to throw, and Tanner with the good hands brings it in for the score. Wesley Gaines.
Gaines on for the extra point attempt for the Wildcats. The hold is good. The kick is up, and he splits the uprights off the equipment bus there behind the goalpost. And boy, it's all New Hanover early on here at the Jurgensen Gabriel Field. Of course, the field here in New Hanover named after Sonny Jurgensen and Roman Gabriel, New Hanover alums.
Two of the all-time greats in the NFL, and another excellent offensive possession that time by New Hanover, and 14-zip lead.
And on behalf of the ATMC TV team, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors for our high school football games of the week this year, including J.P. Russ & Son. Serving Brunswick County since 1947, J.P. Russ & Son has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. Paving, grading, clearing, drainage, and much more. J.P. Russ & Son will haul any material, even rock. Give them a call at 754-6023. That kick is deep, and Clariday once again fields it. New Hanover does a nice job covering the kick once again. Clariday lowers his head, bulls his way across the West Brunswick 25-yard line to about the 27.
Clariday, he's not going to back away. He's a tough guy. Only a 10th grader, got a lot of football understanding. He's a very fine basketball player too, so a lot of good things ahead for the sophomore Clariday. And on the tackle that time, I think that was Joshua Anderson. He is a senior safety for New Hanover and doing a good job on kick coverage.
That handoff goes to Noah Johnson around the left side. Nice game for West Brunswick on first down. Johnson dropped down at about the 30-yard line for, well, about to pick up a 3.
Big guy Monty Stanley, double sevens down the field that time, trying to clear the way for Noah Johnson. He does pick up 3, so 2nd and 7 for Owen McDowell and the West Brunswick Trojans. I don't know that they've picked up a first down yet, Sam.
Have not.
Like to move the chains this time.
Same play, but this time to the right side. New Hanover spills it out in a really nice hit there behind the line of scrimmage. Johnson brought down at about the original line of scrimmage at the 27.
Pretty sure that was one Mr. Logan Santos, who is a 5'11", 170-pound sophomore. Came up from his cornerback position and leveled Noah Johnson. This is it's a pretty good defensive team that you're seeing in New Hanover tonight. We talk a lot about the offense, and for obvious reasons, but this team gives up under 2 touchdowns a game. You can see it why tonight.
West Brunswick head coach Kelly Williamson did not like the look there from the New Hanover defense, so he calls for a timeout with 2:48 left here in the opening period. New Hanover 14, West Brunswick 0, and it gives us a chance to thank Community Finance of South Carolina for serving as one of the sponsors of our games of the week. Community Finance of South Carolina offers personal and title loans with the most competitive rates in the area. Located right across the border in beautiful Little River, Community Finance provides quick approvals so you can have cash in minutes. Visit them online at cfscloans.com. We'd also like to thank the Brunswick Beacon for its sponsorship. Your community newspaper since 1962, the Beacon is your source for local news, sports, and features. Subscribe to the Beacon today. Call 754-6890 or go to brunswickbeacon.com.
A 3rd and 10 for the Trojans, Sam. A passing situation. Probably going to see Owen McDowell try to make a play this time, just to move the chains.
McDowell rolls out to his left looking for a receiver. He's got a man off the hands of Jalen Jones-Bay, And Jay, I don't think he had enough for the first down yardage, even had he made the catch. Nevertheless, the pass falls incomplete, and that brings up a 4th and 10.
Pretty good throw that time by McDowell, and JJB just could not come down with the ball. It is a little cool out here this evening, so that football hit your bare hands. It's going to sting, and that time Jalen just could not bring it in. So 3rd punt of the game. We're still in the 1st quarter for Owen McDowell and the Trojans.
A fake punt. It's a pass to Clarity, and he's got 1st down across midfield. Boy, a big chunk of yardage there for West Brunswick. And for the first time in 8 minutes, the Trojans got some life. Great play call.
That's a great call by Kelly and his staff. And you forget, it's easy to forget that McDowell handles the punting, but he also is the quarterback and can throw pretty good. And Clarity just came right out from the backfield that time, wide open, and McDowell delivered a strike. A lot of pressure on that throw, but the senior stepped right into it, and the sophomore made a great catch, and a little bit of life now for the Trojans.
2.5 minutes left in the 1st quarter. New Hanover leading by 14. That hands off goes to Bethel, and he's got some running room across the 45, brought down at about the 43 for a nice pickup of 4 on 1st down.
Boy, Bethel, that time that's some of that hard running that we've seen several times during the season with West Brunswick, and a little bit of that north-south run game that they like to do, particularly running behind that big offensive line, and number 4-2, Jakari Bethel.
And Russ Gore was the lead blocker there. You saw him come in motion and then get a nice lead block, opened up a hole for Bethel. Bethel, not as much running room that time, but he does get it to about the 40-yard line for another pickup of 3. Promising set of downs here for West Brunswick. The last 3 plays, they've picked up about 35 yards.
I'll tell you what, it could mean the world if West could continue this drive, if for no other reason, flip that field position that you were talking about earlier, but more importantly, put them in a position to try to get on the scoreboard. They're down 2, scores 14-zip, but things could look a lot better if they could score a touchdown.
Another handoff to Bethel. He's got enough for the 1st down and more across the 35, brought down at about the 33 for 7 yards from Jakari Bethel.
And give some credit to one of the big guys up front, number 64. That would be Casey Holler from his tackle position, getting downfield, moving orange shirts out of the way, and Jakari Bethel doing the rest. So nice drive for West. That fake punt has seemingly given them a little bit of life here, and they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, Jay, the Trojans did find some running room in their loss against New Hanover early in the season. Bethel ended up with more than 70 yards rushing, so there was some room there. He's looking for running room around the right side, but he is dropped. Maybe a yard on the play, but maybe back to the line of scrimmage. We'll say no gain on the play.
That's that Naz Brown. He's nasty. 92 tackles on the year, 21 tackles for a loss and sack. Really very active from his linebacker position, a 5'10", 200-pound senior, Macion Brown. He is a good one.
2nd and 10 for West Brunswick from the New Hanover 32. 25 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. West Brunswick in the T formation. McDowell fakes the handoff, looking for someone to throw to, and he's sacked and fumbles, and that is recovered by New Hanover's number 44, Rashid Rogers. The defensive end comes up with the fumble recovery. I didn't see who got the hit on McDowell, but Owen never saw him coming.
I think it was 31, Chris Taylor from his defensive end position, and you're right. McDowell never had a chance on that when he got whacked from behind by Taylor. Rogers recovers, and West, the end of a promising drive on a sack fumble by New Hanover.
New Hanover 1st and 10 from its own 37. Walston rolls out. He fires a dart intended for Wiz Vaughn. The pass falls incomplete.
It's the first incompletion of the night for Blake Walston, showing that he is human. Sam, I know you school me on this every time we talk about this young man, but his brother is at North Carolina, I believe.
Tight end, that's correct. Garrett.
I expect Tar Heels probably taking a look at little brother, because not so little at 6'4".
He can sure spin it as he drops back looking for a receiver. That pass is caught And Noah Johnson finally brings Tanner down all the way inside West Brunswick's 35-yard line. Busted coverage there for West Brunswick, and that's going to end the first quarter.
32-yard line.
Boy, West in all kinds of trouble here, trailing by 14, and New Hanover threatening again. After 12 minutes of game action in the first round of the 3AA state playoffs, it's New Hanover 14, West Brunswick 0.
Hey, Sandman, it's Jay.
Hey, partner.
Didn't you tell me you know a guy that's got some heavy equipment? I need a load of dirt.
Don't worry, man. I got you.
Sam, this isn't what I had in mind.
He'll be done any time now.
I knew we should have called J.P. Russ & Son.
Serving Brunswick County since 1947, J.P. Russ & Son has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. We also haul any material, even rock. Give J.P. Russ & Son a call today.
Bugs have to live somewhere. Make sure it's not your house. Strand Termite and Pest Control is ready to help you with your pest control needs. Whatever the bug, whatever the problem. From that pesky roach, ants, bed bugs, or termites damaging your house, Strand Termite and Pest Control has been helping families with their pest problems for 45 years. We can also encapsulate your crawl space to stop moisture and bugs in their tracks. We're proudly family owned and operated and have 2 locations to serve you. Don't let bugs bug you. Call for a free estimate or visit us online.
ATMC has been a very good contributor to Lower Cape Fear Hospice over the years. This year the grant was for this Gone From My Sight booklet that will go into the admission packages for all our patients and their families here in Brunswick County. This booklet is something that gives them information about the death and dying process and gives them education about what they're expecting with their loved one and informs them and empowers them to understand what they're facing. Most of our reimbursement comes from Medicare and Medicaid. However, it doesn't cover 100% of what it costs us to provide professional end-of-life health care. Grants like this allow us to do the little special things that we couldn't do if we just had to rely on the reimbursement alone. We also have programs and services such as our bereavement program and our volunteer program. And like, why does volunteer program cost money? Well, there's a lot of regulations with that, what volunteers can do, tracking their hours, so we have to pay someone to be a volunteer coordinator. So that costs us money, even though it's a free program. We also have other things that just make this, we always try and want to be above and beyond and make sure that our families are served well. And to do that, it takes money from the community to help us make that gap. A lot of volunteers come from ATMC. They've sponsored some of our events, and then we've done different events here in Brunswick County. So they've been a very loyal supporter, and then grants like this, it's added up over the years, it really has. They're so involved with the community here in Brunswick County, and their grants support many nonprofits in the area. It really improves the quality of life in our community.
Play perfect.
Yeah,
you got to.
A little more.
You got to get stuff like we would have needed that fake punt and then some to even stay in it, much less win.
That's right.
Yep. We're back for the start of the second quarter. New Hanover leads West Brunswick 14-0, and Blake Walston just hit Cole Tanner for a 30-yard completion to end the first quarter. Wildcats with a 1st and 10 from West Brunswick's 33. Tanner drops back, he rifles a pass, that is caught. Jay, who was that on the reception there?
That's Jalen Gore, another, just a bevy of receivers. Gore, that's catch 29 on the year for him. 470 yards coming into the game, so he's a 5'11 junior, but man, they have got receivers everywhere.
Walston fakes the option pitch and slides down at about the 15-yard line of West Brunswick for a 5-yard gain on 1st and 10.
Yeah, Walston doesn't run a lot.
Second
for
down.
obvious reasons, when you can sling the ball around the way he does, you probably want to do that. But showing some good presence to get down that time and not get hurt. Picked up 5 yards in the process.
2nd and 5 from the 15-yard line of West Brunswick. That's an inside handoff and a big gain close to the first down marker. I believe it's going to be enough. Ball carrier Williams tackled at about the 7-yard line for a pickup of 8 and a New Hanover first
Ball
down.
spotted
Nice
at
looking
the
play
West
that
Brunswick
time by
8-yard line. 1st and goal, Wildcats.
New Hanover, the ball carrier Cyron Williams was at that like wing-back position and took the inside handoff, as you said, Sam, and made very positive yards out of it.
Under 11 minutes left in the second quarter here. New Hanover threatening again, and a nice carry across the 5, across the goal line. Touchdown Wildcats. 10:53 left in the first half, and it is all New Hanover all the time. 8-yard touchdown run, and the Wildcats lead 20-0.
And I'm not sure who carried the ball that time. I think it was number 14, Cole Tanner, but I didn't think Cole Tanner ran the ball that much. So,
Jay, I believe it was 34 there on the carry. Travis Lee.
Okay, I know it had a 4 on the end of it. So Travis Lee, the 5'7" junior, gets into the scoring column with the 8-yard touchdown run.
Gains on for the extra point attempt. He makes it. I thought he pushed it left there, but bad angle there, I guess. Bad job by the play-by-play guy. So Gaines is 3 for 3 on the night with extra point attempts, and it's New Hanover 21, West Brunswick 0.
Gaines don't push too many left or right, Sam. I think it's mostly right down the middle with his 3 PATs tonight. He is now 38 of 41 for the year. So
Doesn't miss much, does he?
Well over 90% is Wesley Gaines, a 5'9" junior. He's also 4 for 5 with field goals, and he has a long of 41 yards. So, you know, when you get into the playoffs and the deeper you get,
good place kickers, huh?
yeah, I bet you these teams you're going to go up against are going to have kids that special teams so important, and certainly it looks like the Wildcats have a really good kicker in Wes Gaines.
Boy, Jay, we've seen some good place kickers this year. North Brunswick's Michael Rivers, one of the better kickers in the area, and Hoggard's Jeremiah Kim, also a fantastic place kicker.
Let me tell you, you know, it's so very important.
A high pooch kick there. That one is going to be fielded by Julian LeGrand, and West Brunswick's going to have his best field position of the evening as LeGrand gets all the way out near the 40-yard line of West Brunswick. Nice kick return by LeGrand on the short pooch kick.
Yeah, good job by Julian that time.
Lee
Good
on the stop for the
downfield
Wildcats.
tackle by Travis Lee for New
Ball
Hanover.
spotted at the West
But you're
Brunswick
right.
39-yard
Good
line.
field position for the
First
Trojans
down.
to start out this possession. Still a lot of time to go, 10:47 here in the second quarter, but West 3 scores down can ill afford to get much further in the hole.
McDowell under pressure, fires a pass intended for Noah Johnson. And Jay, the play was there, but McDowell had to get rid of it as he was under heavy pressure there from the Wildcats.
Well, and the heavy pressure was coming from one of their defensive studs, and that's number 56, Grant Daly.
Oh, he's a good-looking thing.
Yeah, 6'2", 225 pounds, senior linebacker, 104 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 1 sack for the senior. But Daly, one of the premier defensive players in the area, and certainly put the pressure that time on Owen McDowell.
2nd and 10 for West Brunswick from its own 39-yard line. Empty formation. McDowell gets the low snap, evades the pressure, and he's going to run out of bounds across the 40-yard line out at the 41 for a pickup of 2.
Yeah, Rashid Rogers with penetration that time, and McDowell with a little juke got outside.
Third down.
Really not much room to maneuver, and Owen picks up a couple, sets up a 3rd and 8 situation for West. And I don't know if they're in 4-down territory, Sam, but when you're in
maybe
this
every
situation,
position from the rest of the way, maybe 4-down territory.
Maybe, we'll see.
10:38 left in the second quarter. 3rd and 8 for West Brunswick. McDowell rifles a pass. It's caught by Khalil Bland, but he is dragged down to the turf, well short of the first down marker. Bland made the catch and was brought down at about the 42 or 43 for 1, maybe 2 yards, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 7 for the Trojans.
Host of Wildcat tacklers that time. I believe it was Troy McCaskill who got credit. And he's got credit 68 times this year for tackles as the senior. He's another of the outstanding defensive players for New Hanover.
West is not going to fake that one as McDowell kicks it straight out of bounds. I believe, boy, New Hanover, they rule that it went out of bounds at the 42-yard line of New Hanover, so a 16-yard punt there for West Brunswick. And Jay, just not a whole lot going right here on the early going.
Yeah, you know, you talked about early on that West would probably need to play as close to, if not a perfect game, and so mistakes like that certainly don't help you. This is a real good football team, is New Hanover, and I think West Brunswick's improved significantly over the season, but run into a tough hombre here early on tonight.
Walston rolls out to his left. He rifles a pass way down the field to Freddie Taylor. Taylor makes the catch, crosses the goal line, and it is a 58-yard touchdown on a perfectly thrown spiral down the left side of the field. Walston to Taylor, 58 yards. New Hanover 27, West Brunswick 0.
Sam Hickman, you talk about spinning it. You saw it that time. Young Mr. Blake Walston delivered a strike. That's what he was doing in the pregame. I was watching him, and this kid's just effortlessly throwing the ball 40, 45, 50 yards right on the money. And he certainly had it right on the money to one of his receivers, favorite receivers, Freddie Boom Boom Taylor that time, with the 4th touchdown catch of the year for the senior.
Boy, Jay, there's a lot of West Brunswick football and basketball fans that will be glad to see Freddie Taylor go. He is a great basketball player as well.
He has, I'll tell you, folks, fans of Brunswick County athletics, and that's what we're doing here. You know, ATMC covering Brunswick County will not shed tears when Freddie Taylor moves on, because outstanding athlete and certainly a clutch receiver, and made the nice catch that time. But wow, credit Walston for the big throw.
Jay, almost another fall coming on. Well, I should say another Halloween season coming on, and another great job by the folks down at the Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue Haunted Trail. We'd like to thank them for sponsoring our ATMC TV Games of the Week. And thanks to all our viewers out there who went down there and checked those guys out, put on a great show. And just a big, heartfelt thank you from our team to the folks down at the Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue Department for what they've done for us.
Been with us from get-go, haven't they, Sam?
Jump Street.
Jump Street. We talk about this every game, at least we try to, but certainly a sincere thanks to all the corporate sponsors who make these kinds of telecasts possible.
LeGrand with another nice kick return. He's trying to evade some New Hanover tacklers. He does. Boy, LeGrand's so tiny, he kind of just ducked right under one of those would-be tacklers, and he returns it all the way out to the West Brunswick 34.
Pretty good effort that time by the young junior Julian LeGrand. He's another kid that, as the season has progressed for West Brunswick's gotten more minutes, and certainly done a good job of taking advantage of the time, the opportunities out there on the field.
And Jay, he's another one we'll see during basketball season. LeGrand is a member of the West Brunswick basketball program, so not the last you'll see of him. McDowell pulls that one out, looking for running room around the left side, and he's got plenty of it, as I believe McDowell picks up a first down across the 45 to the 46 for a 12-yard gain on first down.
That was kind of the thing we were thinking about. We might see tonight when we're talking about pregame, the ability of Owen McDowell to use his legs in addition to his arm to promote some positive yardage out there for the offense, and that time did a good job of making the read, tucking it away, and picking up the first down.
Jay, you know another thing that made Walston's throw even more impressive, that touchdown strike to Taylor, it was into the wind.
The wind.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful touchdown strike there as McDowell lowers his head and gets out to about the 47-yard line for a pickup of 1.
Rasheed Rogers
on the tackle for the Wildcats.
and company in on the stop that time. Man, Sam Rogers has been very active here tonight. 44 for New Hanover, 6'1".
Second down.
200-pound junior. You know, one thing about New Hanover that strikes me, I mean, they've got some big kids, but we've seen bigger this year, you know, but they are very athletic and very, very quick.
McDowell throws a slant pass. That is complete to number 8, TJ Cinto, across midfield to the 48 for a pickup of 5.
TJ
Cinto, 6'2", $170 junior.
Grant Daly on the
Another
stop for
kid
the
that
Wildcats.
has gotten some minutes
Third
here
down.
as the season has gone on for West Brunswick, and coming up with a nice catch there sets up a, well, Sam, what you got, 3rd and 4 maybe?
3rd and 5 from the 49-yard line of the Wildcats. That pass was intended for
Pass is incomplete.
number 23, Noah Johnson, but it falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 4 from the 49-yard line of the Wildcats.
I was going to say, you know, Noah's probably got some cold hands, and maybe he does, but he does have some gloves on. If he's finished using them, he can send them up here to meet
Yeah,
Sam
Hickman,
right?
please.
'Cause
Oh, boy.
it's a little brisk.
I knew we should have used the press box.
Yes, indeed. Well,
Although, Jay, it's a packed house up there. There was no room for us.
no room in the inn.
Oh, Jay, a really nice pass by McDowell there. He got rid of that in the face of pressure, but it's off the hands of the intended receiver, Khalil Bland. That's a turnover on downs, and New Hanover's going to take over near midfield with a 28-0 lead.
Tell you what, that ball, as cool as it is here this evening, had some heat on it. And if you don't believe me, just ask number 5, Khalil Bland. Ball went off his hand, and Khalil is still shaking his fingers over that one. So Owen muscled up that time, but Bland not able to come down with it. Then the ball goes over to the pretty dangerous Blake Walston.
Wiz Vaughn in motion for the Wildcats. That's a shovel pass. Vaughn's got it. Almost a great individual tackle there. I believe that was LeGrand who almost tripped up Vaughn. Vaughn eventually pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line for a pickup of 16. That's a pass completion there on the shovel pass.
Wiz Vaughn, you saw that time kind of knocked and
Javion McCray
off his
on the stop
off his balance, but
West
yet
Brunswick.
wouldn't
The ball
go down,
spotted at
tiptoeing down the
Trojan's
sidelines. He's a
35-yard
very
line.
athletic
First
young
down,
man, is Wiz
Wildcats.
Vaughn, and certainly one of the more dynamic players in high school football in the area.
When the West Brunswick fans were clamoring for a holding flag there, and I believe they threw it there. They might have talked them into that one, as New Hanover's going to go backwards here after the holding
I
penalty.
think that might be the first flag we've seen here this
Flag on the
evening.
play.
And I do think you're right, Sam.
Holding
Jay,
called against New Hanover.
West Brunswick player to keep an eye on for the future. Big number 68. He's a sophomore, I believe, came up from the JV team. That's Xavion McCray. He's a cousin to Javion McCray. Xavion is a great-looking 10th grader, and Jay, there's a lot of room to grow in that frame. From speaking to the West Brunswick coaches throughout the season, he's a guy to keep an eye out for, you know, as we cover the Trojans in the next couple years. Xavion McCray, remember the name, folks, at home. He's going to be a player.
Well, you said the same thing about Javion McCray as a freshman who actually got minutes on the varsity team, and now his cousin Xavion looks like he's got a big upside too.
Oh, Bethel almost lays a lick there on Walston, and another well-thrown pass. Bethel just shot right through the offensive line, and maybe made Walston get rid of that one a half second before he wanted to.
Old Jakari Bethel, 4-2 for West, and you know he's had a great season playing football, but we're talking about a lot of these kids now that'll move on to other sports and principally basketball. But Bethel will do his thing out on the mats.
Yeah, the wrestling mats.
And he is one of the really, really fine wrestlers.
That's a speed sweep to Wiz Vaughn. A nice job by the West Brunswick defense, spilling it out. He made the initial tackler miss. I believe it was Jones Bay.
Russ Gore on the stop for the
excuse me, Frink. That's number 11, Frink, who missed the initial tackle but did a nice job disrupting that play, and Vaughn could only get back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 25 for the Wildcats.
So we got a Devontae Frink and a DeMonte Frink.
They're twins.
I was going to guess that, but
nothing gets by me, partner.
And I'll tell you what, Russell Gore, not a twin, but sometimes looks like there's 2 of them out there tackling people. Made the stop that time for West.
3rd and 25 for the Wildcats. Walston in the shotgun. He rifles a pass over the middle of the field. That ball is off the hands of number 21, DeAndre Clariday. And boy, Jay, against this offense, you're not going to get a better look at an interception than that. And Clariday, who's very sure-handed. We saw him catch the fake punt. He returns kicks and punts. He just couldn't come up with the interception.
Yeah, he 10 times that happens, 9 times he catches it. That's the one he doesn't. Walston, I don't want to say he is prone to the interception. When you throw the ball as many times as Blake does, you are going to throw some interceptions, and he's thrown 9 coming into this contest this evening. But that could have been number 10 if Clariday had been able to hold on.
Yeah, Jay
held.
Yeah, they held. They stopped him. But Jay, the heck of it is, Clariday, all the receivers, the fast guys for New Hanover, had run out for deep routes, and if Clariday makes the catch, he's got a lot of running room.
And he can. He's shown us his ability to run with the ball. So you got a big upside. That's going to be a kid that's going to be real good for West in years to come.
McDowell fakes that snap. He rifles the pass out. It's caught by Cason Medford. He's got a lot of running room all the way out to the 30-yard line. Jay, we have a flag that came in way late, maybe in the area of holding there. So a really nice play for West Brunswick, and it may come all the way back.
Shaquan Kemp on the tackle of number 9, Cason Medford.
Holding is the call against the Trojans.
Holding is the call, Sam. You had it nailed, and so take that play off. And was a pretty kind of a late flag, wasn't it?
Yeah, late flag, Jay, and I'm not sure that I'm not saying it wasn't a penalty, but I'm not sure it had much of an impact on the play there. It was way away from the action.
Timeout, West Brunswick.
Kelly Williamson, Coach Kelly Williamson calls a timeout and gets the kids to regroup, Sam Hickman. It's probably time for one of those famous commercials.
It is, and boy, wouldn't it be nice to have a delectable double bacon cheeseburger from the Doghouse Grill 2, your neighborhood hotspot, serving breakfast all day, plus delicious handmade burgers, deli sandwiches, gourmet Red Barn hot steaming coffee, and dessert to satisfy your sweet tooth. Open 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch. The Doghouse Grill 2 on Beach Drive in Ocean Isle Beach.
Sam, I love to eat their food, but I think tonight I'd probably just wear it. I'd pour that hot coffee on this. And
just think, Jay, hot coffee.
I could wrap myself up in that delicious cheeseburger and rolls and just get all cheesy and warm. This is not going well, is it?
Yeah, but I'm with you. The message you're trying to convey, I'm there. Ja'Cory Bethel gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage with a 5-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 11 from the 15-yard line of West Brunswick.
Don't be like me, Sam Hickman. Set the bar much higher, okay? But if we had one of those double cheeseburgers right now,
don't even say it.
It'd be all right.
6.5 minutes left here in the first half. West trails by 28. McDowell fakes the handoff to Russ Gore. He's got a man deep. That's Jones Bay. Oh, very nearly connects on a long strike through the air, and Jay, it looked like Jones Bay got caught up with the defender there. No flag was thrown, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 11.
Well, you're right, and Jalen Jones Bay trying to legislate that time with the official and to no avail. But a couple of things there, Sam. One, the long pass by McDowell, that wind helps, right?
Yeah.
And two, it illustrates the strong arm of Blake Walston, who threw one about 50 yards into
the other
wind,
way. Yeah.
As you commented so well earlier. But Owen aired that one out, and JJB almost came up with it.
Well, Jay, you feel like every snap West has had has come with their, heels against their own end zone or close to it. Have only been on the New Hanover side of the field one time. On this 3rd down play, McDowell just throws it deep. It is over the head of number 2, Dylan Jeffries. The pass falls incomplete, and that's more than likely going to bring on the Trojan punt team.
Well, Dylan Jeffries was unfortunately not dialed in by Owen McDowell on that pass. And again, Owen's got a pretty good arm, and it gets gooder with that strong wind behind him, but can't connect. So maybe he can use the wind to his advantage on this punt. In fact, they punt.
And Jay, I don't know if it's the temperature or not, but this may be the longest quarter of football. Wow, that punt goes off a New Hanover defender's helmet. And Jay, I believe if West would have picked it up, they would have retained possession there. It went off a New Hanover player's helmet. Very alert play by the Wildcats to jump on what was a live ball there, and New Hanover is going to have a 1st and 10 inside the 40-yard line of West Brunswick.
I think that was 44 Rasheed Rogers for New Hanover, and absolutely right, Sam. That was a live ball that time. Rogers, the wherewithal to fall on it and maintain possession for the Wildcats.
6-12. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of West Brunswick. Walston just tucks that one down, looking for someone to throw to, and now he's running into the secondary of West Brunswick as Clariday wrestles him out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. About a 15-yard gain there by Walston on 1st down.
Well, that's not Clariday's at 5'8". Walston's at 6'4". That looked like Mutton Jeff for short that time,
It's a Bojangles
tall guys,
down.
short guys, but Clariday got him out of bounds, but not before Walston picks up the 1st down.
Jay, this must be the longest quarter of football I've ever witnessed.
It has been a kind of a long
Still
quarter.
6 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the 2nd frame. 1st and 10 for New Hanover. Walston drops back. The pocket is very clean. Boy, Jay, I don't know if I've seen that all season, a pass that Cole Tanner drops. Maybe the cold temperatures had something to do with that, because you sure don't see Tanner drop many.
Very sure-handed receiver for sure, and Walston again delivered that one right on the money, and boy, some good protection by that New Hanover offensive line. Talked about their size or lack thereof, but then when you look at Jada Ellis, number 70, who is 6'1", 280 pounds, that's a big guy in anybody's league.
Howard takes the handoff. Nice job by the New Hanover offensive line that opened up a running lane. Howard is still on his feet, just pushing West Brunswick tacklers out of the way inside the 10-yard line to the 6 for a pickup of 16 and a New Hanover 1st down.
Well, Jabez Howard showed you that time why he's one of the outstanding running backs in the area that time. Really very patient, waiting for his blockers to do their job, and some quick feet too.
We've got a flag on the field. I believe that's going to be a false start on the Wildcats. I take that back. I was dead wrong. It's encroachment against West Brunswick, and instead of 1st and goal from the 6, it's going to be 1st and goal from the Trojan 3.
So the rich kind of get richer, Sam Hickman. Last thing New Hanover needed was 5 yards. They can sort of do that on their own, but they'll take it. Knocking at the door again with a 28-0 lead.
Walston rolls out the pass. He throws it back across his body. Jay, I may be throwing that away as he just kind of spiked that one straight in the dirt. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was his primary target that time. It looked like he was going to somebody on the fade, but alertly put it someplace where nobody was going to catch it unless it was a new Hanover player.
Second and goal from the 3-yard line of West Brunswick. That's Vaughn in motion. Walston hands that one off to Jabez Howard, and he is ruled down short of the goal line. So Howard picks up 2, but it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 1 for the Wildcats.
He's not in, but he's awfully close, Sam.
3rd down.
3rd down and 1. So if they don't make it here, do they kick a field goal or do they go for it?
Jay Xavion McCray was in on another tackle there. He brought Howard down shy of the goal line. 3rd and goal from the 1. Walston in the shotgun. Wiz Vaughn in motion. Handoff goes to Howard. He makes a man miss. Scampers across the goal line for a new Hanover touchdown. It's 5th of the first half, and the Wildcats lead 34-0.
Jabez Howard going off the left side that time, and again the offensive line for New Hanover doing their job, winning that very important battle of the lines.
Good snap, good hold. Extra point attempt is up, off the field house, and good. 4:51 left here in the second quarter. New Hanover 35, West Brunswick 0 in the first round of the 3AA state playoffs. A big special thank you to ATMC for sponsoring our high school football games of the week here on ATMC TV. Serving our community for more than 60 years, ATMC is your local provider for telephone, internet, digital cable, wireless, and home security. ATMC is a local company with local priorities. Contact them today at 90755-8206 or check them out on the web at atmc.com. Also, a special thanks to Strand Termite and Pest Control. Locally owned and operated, Strand Termite and Pest Control Company has served the Carolinas for more than 45 years. It provides comprehensive pest control services to ensure the safety and health of your residents or workplace. Using integrated pest management techniques and new science, it proudly offers you today's most effective treatments. Enjoy fast and friendly service along with affordable prices from Strand Termite and Pest Control.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, the New Hanover kick team has had a lot of practice here in the first half, and we still got nearly 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. This would be their sixth or seventh kickoff tonight.
That's a squib kick, and that's once again going to be fielded by LeGrand, looking for running room, runs into his own man, and then he is driven down inside the 30-yard line. West will take over 1st and 10 at about its own 28 with 4:45 left here before halftime.
Chris Taylor on the
kick
tackle
coverage
for the
that time by
Wildcats.
31 Chris Taylor, 6'1", 190-pound senior for the Wildcats. Coach Earl Smith. Got a pretty good team, Sam. They are ranked in max preps this past week, number 35 among all high schools in the state of North Carolina.
Jay, how do you feel about New Hanover's proposition moving forward through the 3AA playoffs?
Well, if they play the way they play here this evening, I'd say they got a good proposition going for them.
Jakari Bethel, the ball carrier.
I saw in the Star News this morning, and I don't remember
Josh Anderson on the stop for the Wildcats.
the names of their opponents, but both of the writers picked New Hanover to go all the way and win a 3A state championship, and they certainly got a good chance based on what we've not only seen here this evening, of course, but all year long. This team has played well all season.
2nd and 7 after 3 yards picked up by Bethel. That pass intended for Jones Bay falls incomplete. And Jay, there's one of the reasons for this awfully slow second quarter, a lot of incomplete passes.
Yeah.
You know, that usually West games fly because they keep the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, there's 30 seconds in between every running play. Tonight, you know, kind of had to get out of what they do with the big early deficit, and a lot of passes hitting the turf.
And conversely, New Hanover with the big play.
Scoring quickly.
Yeah, when you go, up top for 50, not much time goes off the clock either.
McDowell fakes the handoff to Bethel and Gore. He rolls to his right, fires a pass, and that is caught. Really nice catch in traffic there. That's 32. Tyler Tate tough. To make a catch like that with defenders bearing down on you, you got to be Tyler Tate tough.
Yes, indeedy. And boy, let me tell you, what a nice grab by Tate. What a real well-thrown ball by Owen McDowell. So
14 yards on the completion.
That one was on a rope. And Tyler Tate brings it in. So nice effort by Tate. Tate is a 5'10", 190-pound junior who will flat out stick you, Sam Hickman.
Jay, there's built Ford tough. He's built Tyler Tate tough.
That's right.
A timeout for West Brunswick.
Timeout, West
with
Brunswick.
3:38 left here in the first half. New Hanover 35. West Brunswick 0, and West Brunswick head coach Kelly Williamson calls the Trojans' second timeout of 3 available here in the first half. West keeps that possession alive with a 14-yard strike. A third down conversion from senior quarterback Owen McDowell to junior Tyler Tate, who had a nice catch against South Brunswick last week. He had a 21-yard catch on a play-action pass early in the game. So we've seen Tate more involved in the passing game and the offense here in the latter part of the 2017 campaign.
He's making the most of those opportunities, which is all as a coach you could ask for.
West is going to throw another pass. Oh, Jay, it's off the hands of Khalil Bland, and I believe if he makes that grab, he's still running. That would have been a 55-yard touchdown. He had beat the New Hanover defensive back and just couldn't come up with the grab.
And credit, the last few minutes, the offensive line for West has been giving McDowell time to throw, and Owen staying back in that pocket and delivering, and that time they were very, very close. I think you're right. If Khalil had been able to hang on to that ball, I think he had a step on his defender and could have gone all the way.
Jay, probably wouldn't make much of a difference, but that's 5 drops by West Brunswick wide receivers here in the first half, by my count. Unofficial, of course. Jakari Bethel looking for running room. He has nowhere to go, so he just lowered his head and ran right into the teeth of the New Hanover defense. He loses a yard, and that will
on the tackle for the Wildcats.
Bring up a 3rd and 11 for the Trojans.
Tell you what, there is some popping going on out there. That time the hit was delivered by New Hanover's Troy McCaskill. He is a 6'1", 250-pound senior linebacker, but when you go up against Bethel, you better be ready for a hit.
That's a business decision.
Yes, indeedy.
McDowell fakes the handoff. He throws it all the way back to the left side of the field, and Bethel's got running room. He's still on his feet across the line to gain for a West Brunswick first down. So, Jay, 2 3rd and 11s. Oh, well, no, excuse me. McDowell converted a 3rd and 7 to Tyler Tate, and they converted a 3rd and 11 there on the completion. This one to Jakari Bethel.
Well, I tell you what.
The ball spotted at the New Hanover
Jakari Bethel
line,
gets those big legs moving. Man, you want to get out the way, and that time he delivered a hit on a kid who is a great player, Grant Daly, and Daly got him out of bounds but was a little bit slow getting up. Bethel is a load to bring down.
McDowell takes the snap, gets rid of it. Oh, that pass intended for number 23, Noah Johnson, falls incomplete. Jay, maybe release that one a little early. Looked like McDowell didn't really plant his feet and drive it as we're accustomed to see him doing.
Well, when you got a couple of big orange shirts coming up at you, you have a tendency to do that, although Bethel did a pretty good job of picking up one of the rushers that time. But good penetration, good pressure by the New Hanover defensive front 7. Forced Owen to deliver before he probably wanted to.
2nd and 10 from the New Hanover 40-yard line. McDowell looking for a receiver. He doesn't have anything, so he just fires it deep down the field to Dylan Jeffries, and the pass falls to the turf incomplete. Really a nice effort there by Jeffries in double coverage, but the pass falls harmlessly to the turf, and that's going to bring up another 3rd and long situation on this drive for the Trojans.
Well, McDowell trying to just keep the play alive out there with his athleticism and released a catchable ball, and you're right. Jeffries did a pretty good job of almost coming down with it with 2 defenders around the ball.
Jay, that's about 20 pass attempts already for McDowell here in the first half. Not what West Brunswick wants to do. He's certainly capable, don't get me wrong.
It's not who they brung to the dance.
That's right. That's a reverse there. Jones Bay, he's going to throw it. He was hit as soon as he did, and that's going to be a pass interference. And Jay, on a play that had 0 chance of working there, as it turned out, West is going to keep this drive alive with a defensive pass interference call.
If anybody deserved a break, I would say the Trojans do, and probably got one that time, because I think you're right. There wasn't much of a chance for that pass to be completed, but the defender got tangled up with Dylan Jeffries.
Pass interference is
going to get called for the pass interference, and West is going to maintain possession with undoubtedly their best field possession of the game inside the
ball spotted at
20. That's the 25. Yep, 1st and 10 from the New Hanover 25. Jay, if this was college, that would have been a spot foul, and West would have had it down at about the 10-15 yard line, but nevertheless, 1st down for the Trojans. That's 3 3rd down conversions on this drive. That's a wide receiver screen to Dylan Jeffries. He's still on his feet, and a nice job fighting for yardage inside the 20, brought down at the 19 for a 6-yard gain from McDowell to Jeffries.
Good tackle by Josh Anderson
Francis
that time.
Meehan on the tackle for
Francis
the Wildcats.
Meehan, too, and on that stop.
Jay, do you remember the name Francis Meehan? It's a pop quiz.
I remember that name. Why do I remember?
He split time at quarterback last year with Blake Walston when these 2 teams met in Charlotte.
He was the quarterback, you're right.
McDowell completes that pass across the line to gain. That's Jalen Jones Bay with the catch for a West Brunswick 1st down.
Good throw that time by Owen. Good catch by Jalen. West, their best drive of the night, even though it was helped a little bit by that
Timeout, Wildcats.
Pass interference penalty.
That was a 7-yard completion from McDowell to Jalen Jones Bay, and Owen McDowell has thrown for 43 yards on this drive. He's got 4 completions, a 14-yard pass to Tyler Tate, a 16-yard completion on the screen play to Jakari Bethel. Dylan Jeffries had a 6-yard grab, and then McDowell hit Jalen Jones Bay there for 7 yards. So 43 yards passing on this drive. We got a 1:46 left in the first half. Yeah, I don't believe the New Hanover defensive coaches at least liked the way this drive was going, allowing all the 3rd downs and the pass interference penalty. So head coach Earl Smith calls for a timeout there.
And probably a good call by Coach Smith. John Fuller is the defensive coordinator for the Wildcats, and I think probably had a few things to say to his defensive squad here, see if they can't stop and keep West Brunswick out of the end zone.
Bethel was in the backfield. He motions out there. McDowell's going to roll out to the right and throw a pass over to Jones Bay, who makes the catch. Jay tried to plant his feet and kind of make him miss. If he just would have lowered his head, I'd think he would have been inside the 5. Instead, it's a gain of maybe about 3 or 4. Really hard for me to tell where the ball is there. Looks like it's marked at the 10-yard line, 2 yards from McDowell to Jalen Jones Bay.
What a pretty good open field tackle that time by Josh Anderson of New Hanover, because Bay was in a position, if he could have gotten past Anderson, probably would have scored.
Almost a minute left here in the first half. West trailing 35-0, but knocking on the door. McDowell gets a low snap, rifles a pass over to Jones Bay again. That's the 3rd straight pass intended for Jones Bay. This one falls incomplete. So with 58 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter, West is going to have a 3rd and 8 from the New Hanover 10-yard line.
3rd down.
Well, they've shown one trick play here already tonight. I don't know if this is a situation where you would reach into the bag of tricks, but what the heck, you want to try to get on that scoreboard before this second quarter expires.
And Jay, you got the New Hanover defense kind of spread out. Maybe a quarterback draw here. Let McDowell make something happen with his legs, but he's going to drop back. He rifles a slant pass. It is caught, and it is a touchdown. That is West Brunswick's number 2, Dylan Jeffries, I believe, on the touchdown catch. Excuse me, Jay. Correction. Number 6, Jalen Jones-Bay comes up with the West Brunswick touchdown. It was a 10-yard quick slant, and the Trojans are on the board. 53 seconds left here in the first half. It's New Hanover 35, West Brunswick 6.
That's a well-thrown ball by Owen McDowell. Nice catch by Jones-Bay. Good work by the offensive line, and let's see if Hunter Younts can cap it off with the point after.
The extra point attempt is up, and Younts makes the extra point. And Jay, nice to see, you know, that regardless of what happens from this point on, nice job by West Brunswick to respond. You know, you still want to fight, Jay. Your pride's on the line, if nothing else.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want to get shut out. You don't want to get you want to go down slugging, and that's what West did on that drive, and credit to them for stringing it together. The pass interference play did help, but they made some plays when they needed to, and the result is the touchdown pass to Jones-Bay, and West is on the board.
Jay, that was about 3 minutes and 52 seconds. West Brunswick traveled 72 yards in almost 4 minutes. Jay, I believe there was a personal foul called on New Hanover after that extra point. It was a dead ball penalty, so it looks like West is going to... Yep, it was a personal foul, so West is going to kick this ball off from New Hanover side of the field. If there was ever a time for an onside kick, now's the time. If they recover it, they're still on their 35.
This might be it, yeah. And, of course, the other option, I guess, is with that big, strong wind at their back, could probably reach the end zone quite easily. So, yeah, I think we might see a little squib kick here or some kind of unorthodox kick to try to close out the last 53 seconds of the second quarter.
Jay, I do get the sense that regardless of what happens with this kick, New Hanover's going to try and go score. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just get that vibe as Younts kind of kicks it in betweener there. It's fielded by Freddie Taylor back deep in New Hanover territory, and Taylor's got some room there. He's brought down. Nice job. That was 32, Tyler Tate. Tyler Tate tough on the tackle, brings down Taylor, and that play took 8 seconds off the clock. So with 45 seconds left in the first half, New Hanover's going to have a first down at about the 25-yard line. So we'll see what the Wildcats elect to do.
Well, clearly, when you have the big strike, big play capability that they have, they can move the ball that far in this amount of time. Sort of looks like that's what they intend to do.
Walston drops back. He's going to throw a screen pass there, and a really nice job by Russ Gore. He spilled it out, and Jay, he did. He forced.
Blake Walston's pass is complete to Jabez Howard.
That was Howard who made the catch. Sorry to our viewers, I couldn't see all the way there across the field, but Gore, thank God Gore did, because all the other West Brunswick defenders were about 30 yards away.
That's for sure. Me and you couldn't see him, Sam, but Russ Gore could, and the senior pushes him out of bounds and stops what could have been a huge gain.
4 yards on the completion from Walston to Howard. 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats. The slant pass to Cole Tanner is caught. Tanner still on his feet, fighting for yardage. He's all the way down to the 41-yard line for a gain of 30 yards, and New Hanover's in business with 28 seconds left in the first half.
Brunswick 41-yard line.
Blake Walston gets him down over the ball quick, and don't forget, Sam, New Hanover's got a real good place kicker in Wesley Gaines, who has made a 41-yard field goal this year.
The clock is under the 20-second mark. Bethel pressures Tanner, and he's got him. He's got a man. Tanner sidesteps, got him one man to miss. He does just that. Crosses the goal line for a 40-yard touchdown. Walston connects with Tanner for 71 yards on the final 2 plays of the drive. And right when West Brunswick has something good happen there with less than a minute to go in the first half, it takes New Hanover all of 3 plays to cover 75 yards and go up 41-7.
Boy, that's just dangerous. That is just dangerous that time. Cole Tanner catches the ball and just kind of tiptoes his way down the sidelines, eludes a would-be tackler, and walks into the end zone for
Good hold, good kick. That one is off the roof of the field house. And with 12 seconds remaining here in the first half, it's New Hanover 42, West Brunswick 7.
That's a ton, Sam. 42 points in 24 minutes. That's cashing in just about every time, and they really didn't. There were a couple of possessions that they actually turned the ball over, gave the ball up on downs. So Mr. Walston and company, pretty efficient, pretty effective here tonight, at least for the opening 2 quarters, hanging up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns.
Walston had 3 through the air, Jay. Howard has a rushing touchdown, Vaughn has a rushing touchdown, and also number 34, Travis Lee, had the 8-yard rushing touchdown. So the Wildcats, this is not a one-trick pony, with Blake Walston. They can beat you on the ground. You see the balance here tonight. 6 first-half touchdowns. Walston's thrown 3. The Wildcats have run in 3.
Yeah, they're pretty tough up top or on the ground for sure.
Squib kick. That one is going to be fielded by Julian Legrand, looking for running room, and he is tripped down by the 28-yard line there with 9 seconds left in the first half. West will have a 1st and 10 from its own 31.
So, Sam, what do? Just take a knee and get into the locker room and warm up a little bit?
Yes, one-word answer, yes. You don't want, as bad as the half's been, Jay, you don't want to drop back to pass, get sacked, and then run another one in here at the end of the half. I say maybe a handoff, right up the middle to Bethel, but, I don't think you want to put this one in the air.
And Owen's under center, which usually means the knee. He's going to hand it off.
He does hand it off to Bethel, and there it is. And it's still loose. Jay, it was recovered by a West Brunswick offensive lineman. That was Timmy Sellers who came up with the fumble recovery. And the Trojans avert disaster. But there were plenty of things that went right for the Wildcats in the early stages. After 24 minutes of game action here from Legion Stadium in the first round of the state 3AA playoffs, it's New Hanover 42, West Brunswick 7.
Hey, Sam, man, it's Jay.
Hey, partner.
Didn't you tell me you know a guy that's got some heavy equipment? I need a load of dirt.
Don't worry, man. I got you.
Sam, this isn't what I had in mind.
He'll be done any time now.
I knew we should have called J.P. Russ & Son.
Serving Brunswick County since 1947, J.P. Russ & Son has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. We also haul any material, even rock. Give J.P. Russ & Son a call today.
Bugs have to live somewhere. Make sure it's not your house. Strand Termite and Pest Control is ready to help you with your pest control needs. Whatever the bug, whatever the problem. From that pesky roach, ants, bed bugs, or termites damaging your house, Strand Termite and Pest Control has been helping families with their pest problems for 45 years. We can also encapsulate your crawl space to stop moisture and bugs in their tracks. We're proudly family-owned and operated and have 2 locations to serve you. Don't let bugs bug you. Call for a free estimate or visit us online.
I received the ATMC grant for Breakout boxes. And Breakout is a company that creates the escape room experience in a classroom. And we are trying to make math and learning just more fun and engaging and collaborative. And so Breakout awards that opportunity. The grant offers me 7 Breakout boxes so that we can play the game as much as we want. We can let other teachers play the game, and we're really able to bring collaborative thinking, teamwork, and just 21st century skills into the classroom with this. So the Breakout is something that I just didn't have the money to put together myself. And so ATMC awarding me this grant offered me the opportunity to not only use this resource in my classroom, but share it with the whole math department, and eventually I'm hoping to set it up so the whole school can use it. Without this grant, this wouldn't be possible, and these kids wouldn't get the experience that they would have gotten otherwise by going to Wilmington and paying money to do these escape rooms. They're doing it in class and learning at the same time, which is really great. Breakout EDU is an up-and-coming company, and I just found it online and was really intrigued and just hit the ground running with it, and I'm really excited to bring it here. So we've only had the opportunity to play it once so far in this class, but they loved it. The first time we played, they didn't break out, and they were just clamoring every day asking, can we do it again? Can we break out again? And we practiced some more in class. We were able to do some more review and practice, and they broke out the second time they did it. And that feeling of success and watching them work together was just really a sight to see and something that's exciting for a teacher to see in a classroom. Thank you, ATMC, for this grant. It's been wonderful. I can't wait to get all of my new boxes and set it up and teach other teachers how to do it. The word is out now. Students have been talking about Breakout and they want more, so I'm excited to bring it to the classroom.
ATMC TV's Game of the Week is brought to you by JP Russ & Son Grading and Clearing, Community Finance of South Carolina, Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue's Haunted Trail, The Doghouse Grill 2, Strand Termite and Pest Control, the Brunswick Beacon, and ATMC.
We're back for the second half of the 3AA state playoffs. New Hanover leading West Brunswick 42-7 and gonna get good field position to start the second half as Wiz Vaughn jukes and jives his way out to the 35-yard line for the Wildcats. Jay, tough first half for West Brunswick.
Yeah, real tough, Sam. I mean, look, I don't know how you can spin this positively if you're a West Brunswick Trojan fan. You're trailing 42-7. I think you just got to put that half behind you and come out here for the last 24 minutes of the season in all likelihood and put your best foot forward and see if you can stop this team a couple of times and kind of make this game a little more competitive.
Wiz Vaughn with the grab on the first play of the second half, and he is all the way out across midfield down at the 48-yard line of West Brunswick for a 17-yard gain and a first down.
I think that has impressed me most about
the new Hanover County single season receiving yard record. Congratulations, Wiz.
So with that catch, Jay, Wiz Vaughn has just broken the single season New Hanover County receiving record. What was the yardage he had, Jay, coming into tonight?
Yeah, 1,140 yards through the air coming into the game tonight on 64 receptions.
So that puts him above 1,200 for yards and about 70 catches as Jabez Howard looks for running room. Really nice play by Casey Holler, brings him down there at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Jay, I got a fun fact for our viewers. Casey Holler and Javian McCray have played defensive tackle beside each other since they were 6 years old. They've been on the same youth football teams. They have played defensive tackle beside each other since they were 6 years old. For the last 10 years, any football in Brunswick County, Casey and Javian have played on the line right beside each other. Tyler Tate with a nice hit, but the pass, hit the receiver in the hands,
incomplete.
But it falls incomplete. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
T-squared, he had a shot that time at Lawson, didn't he?
Tyler Tate bringing the heat.
Put him down, too, and Blake still got the ball out. Still got the ball out for sure, yeah. Back to Wiz, the Wizard, man. He has got to be one of the more exciting and dynamic football players in southeastern North Carolina anyway, right? So maybe even across the state. Really, really dynamic talent.
Walston drops back looking for a receiver. He's pressured. Xavion McCray with the pressure there. That's picked off. Julian LeGrand comes up with the interception, still on his feet. Brought down at the 44-yard line. And the Trojans get a little spark here to start the second half with a Julian LeGrand INT.
Oh, they've been close tonight. Clariday almost had one and a couple other passes. West Brunswick defensively was in it, but that time LeGrand hangs on and gives the Trojans a little life out about the 43-yard line of West Brunswick. So let's see what the Trojans can do. They had a chance to kind of go into the locker room, warm up a little bit, and see if they can't get a little continuity going here offensively. They are bunched up. I think we're running the ball, Sam.
Yeah, that's Bethel on the carry. Jay, he's still moving those feet. He's across the 45 to the 46. He picks up about 3 yards there on first down.
Well, and he picks up about 3 yards on pretty much determination.
Josh Anderson and Grant Daly both in on the
just
stop
refusing to go down. So, West Brunswick, second and 7.
Jay, is it a tough thing to do if you're a kid on West Brunswick? You're down 35 at halftime. You know, the result has pretty much already been determined. You know, we sit up here and say, you know, there's still a lot to play for. Your pride is on the line. First of all, is it something that's more difficult to do? I mean, as cold as it is, you know, the results determined. Take us through that thought process a little bit as a former player.
I think, you know,
false start is the call against the Trojans.
You want to play, right? I mean,
sure. Especially for these seniors, Jay. It's the last time some of them may ever put on a uniform.
Yeah, and notwithstanding the score, I mean, you know, 25 years from now, you know, you can. I played in the first round of the state 3As, and you know, the state of North Carolina. We experienced this, we experienced that. You look for positives, but I think the bottom line is these kids want to play football, and you know, they're losing right now. The score is not what they want, but they still have a chance to go out and try to do something about it, just like that.
Boy, a really nice catch there in traffic by number 8, TJ Cinto. Made a really great grab there, and McDowell threaded the needle. That completion picks up about 10 yards to the 49-yard line of New Hanover, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and short 2, long 1 for West Brunswick.
TJ's second catch of the night, and again, a pretty well-thrown ball by Owen McDowell. Now he's got the wind behind him in the 3rd quarter, so West would certainly like to take advantage of that.
And Jay Cinto, a left-handed pitcher on West Brunswick's varsity baseball team, and a good one. McDowell looking for someone to throw to here. He's got Jones Bay down the sideline. The pass is caught, and Jones Bay's brought down inside right at the 25-yard line. That is a 24-yard strike from McDowell to Jones Bay. And Jay, the Trojans have played really well here, probably the last 6 or 7 minutes of game action.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Sam Hickman, but when West is moving the ball like this, it's a little warmer out here than it was, you know. So congratulations to West Brunswick for hanging tough, and Owen McDowell keeping them going.
Bethel takes the handoff. He's got running room around the right side, and Jay, he made a New Hanover defender pay for going for that tackle as Bethel picks up 7 to 8 yards on first down.
Well, let me tell you, he went from a gain of, 2 yards to a gain of 8 yards, and it looked like he took about 1 step.
Yeah, I know.
He just literally thrust himself forward that time.
He's like the Paul Bunyan of West Brunswick athletics.
I tell you, that was a great run.
McDowell takes that snap. He's running away from the New Hanover defenders. He's got enough for the first down and then maybe a yard, and the Trojans are going to have a first down inside the 15-yard line of the Wildcats.
How about those Trojans, man? They taking advantage of the Julian LeGrand interception and moving this ball downfield, and look a little different than they did particularly to start this game tonight. But I think your observation's spot on, Sam. Maybe the last 6 minutes, 8 minutes of this contest, West has played much, much better.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line of New Hanover. McDowell drops back. He throws the fade route, and that pass is picked off in the end zone by New Hanover. The Wildcats are going to run it out. A nice tackle there by 42, Jakari Bethel. West Brunswick puts together a really nice drive after the Julian LeGrand interception, but the pass intended for Noah Johnson intercepted in the end zone, and the Wildcats will have 1st and 10, up 42-7 with 8:07 left in the 3rd quarter.
I think that was Francis Meehan with the INT
the ball
that
spotted
time.
At the New Hanover 14-yard
so
line. First down,
that
Wildcats.
stops the West drive, and I was watching Timmy Sellers coming off the field. He was holding on to his shoulder. I hope the big guy's all right. What an important member of this team.
Boy, that kid plays hard, doesn't he? We've seen that. That's been one constant in the last 2 years is the effort of Tim Sellers. Walston fakes the bubble screen, rifles it all the way down the field. That's LeGrand once again with great coverage on the far sideline. Almost a remarkable one-handed catch there on the far sideline, but the pass falls incomplete. Jay, let me ask you this. I asked you to put your player hat on. Now put your coach hat on. 42-7, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. At what point, if you're New Hanover and Coach Earl Smith, do you think about taking Blake Walston out? Because if he got hurt in this situation and you don't have him for the rest of your playoff run, that's devastating.
That could hurt you. It looks like Blake's going to be around for a while here tonight. Ooh.
That pass goes through the hands of the intended receiver, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats.
Jalen Gore that time, another one
The
of
winning ticket number
really good receivers for New Hanover, but looked like a catchable ball. I don't know, Sam. You know, the coach is with these kids. He's been with these kids every day since, August 15th? Nobody knows him any better than he does, so I'm sure he's keeping an eye on the score. He's keeping an eye on his kids, and he'll make the right decision. But yeah, you don't want to, in a game that at least on the scoreboard looks like is in the win column.
Wiz Vaughn comes in motion. That pass is low, intended for Cole Tanner. It falls incomplete. Jay, 2 drives for New Hanover in the third quarter. West Brunswick comes up with an interception on the first drive, and now they're going to force a punt.
Yeah,
nice job coming out in this second half and slowing down this powerful attack.
That's for sure, and
punting into the wind.
Yeah, so I was just getting ready to say, let's see how New Hanover handles kicking into the wind.
It's an end-over-end punt, and it takes a West Brunswick bounce. It is down inside the 40-yard line. Down inside the 40-yard line.
Jack Dunn's punt is down, and the ball will be spotted at the New Hanover.
And West Brunswick's going to have a first
38-yard line.
At the New Hanover
First down, Trojans.
yard line. 7 minutes and 44 seconds left here in the third quarter. West has got 1st and 10 at the New Hanover 38. Trojans trailing 42-7. McDowell's got the snap. He's under all kinds of pressure. He makes a couple defenders miss, chunks it up in the air, pass is caught, and Sinto's got it down the right sideline. He's still on his feet, making a couple tacklers miss, and Jay, after all that, it's a gain of about 6 or 7 yards for the Trojans.
That's some pretty good athleticism that time by Owen McDowell, showing the quick feet and able to elude.
Now.
And completing the pass to Sinto, so.
We apologize to our viewers here on ATMC TV. We're having some audio issues that we hope to resolve. McDowell floats that pass to Jakari Bethel, and it falls incomplete as Bethel and Grant Daly collide at about the 33-yard line. So it's going to be a 3rd and 4 for the Trojans. 6:47 left in the third quarter.
My guess is the microphones.
They're frozen.
Right.
You're back, Jay. That's weird.
We're back. Okay. I'm unfrozen now, so you know.
Let it go.
That was probably, oh my word, Sam, that's a good one. Probably the best 2 minutes of commentary.
That's right.
All year, right? You know, when you can't hear me.
I hope they just don't start showing the games without us. That would be bad. McDowell pitches that one to Jakari Bethel, and he eludes the tacklers. He's running straight through the New Hanover defense. 5, touchdown, Trojans.
How about that?
Jakari Bethel on the carry.
How about that?
A 32-yard touchdown run on the option play from senior running back Jakari Bethel. And with 6:37 left to go in the third quarter, it's New Hanover 42, West Brunswick 13.
There is no reason in the world that Jakari Bethel should have scored that time, Sam. New Hanover is too good, and somehow he eluded the tackler, ran through the tackler.
Boy, that kick was up, and Younce bangs through the line drive kick. Hey, it looks like a high, perfect end over end right through the middle.
And it's not about being pretty, it's about being effective, and Younce got it through the 2 poles. So 42-14, that sure sounds a lot better, doesn't it, Sam?
Younce 2 for 2 on the night. A big thank you to Community Finance of South Carolina, which offers personal and title loans with the most competitive rates in the area. Located right across the border in Little River, Community Finance provides quick approval so you can have cash in minutes. Visit them online at cfscloans.com. We'd also like to thank the Brunswick Beacon for its sponsorship of our Games of the Week. Your community newspaper since 1962, the Brunswick Beacon is your source for local news, sports, and features. Subscribe to the Beacon today. Call 754-6890 or go to brunswickbeacon.com. The Trojans trailing 42-14, 6:37 left in the third quarter. Younce with a low driving squib kick, and it bounces all the way through the New Hanover return man. Freddie Taylor eventually picks it up, but he is brought down inside the 25-yard line as we have a late penalty flag that flies in. We'll see who the penalty is called on there on the far sideline. Taylor was the return man for the Wildcats. We'll wait on the call from the White Hat.
Just looking to see who was in on that stop that time when the kick coverage. Is that number 20? William
McRaney.
Yeah, one of the young guys getting more time as a 10th grader.
Jay, that was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on West Brunswick after the return. So instead of a 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, New Hanover's going to get the ball moved all the way out to the 39-yard line where the Wildcats will start this possession.
Well, they don't need a lot of help, Sam. So, those are the kinds of errors that West Brunswick wants desperately to stay away from. Trying to
First down.
climb their way back into this game. Down 35 points at one time, right? It's 42-14 now. Who knows, a turnover or two and things can change.
Walston pitches that one out to the left, and looked like Tyler Tate had the ball carrier there in his sights but couldn't bring him down. But West Brunswick brings down Jabez Howard right at the line of scrimmage. Jay Howard may have picked up a yard there, but this Trojan defense looking much better here in the third quarter.
Well, Tate slowed him down, and McGraney, I think, finished him off at 46. Javian McCray was over there too, but yeah, you're right, Sam. West has come out here in the third quarter and played pretty respectably.
Walston drops back deep to pass. He rifles one in the middle of the field. It's off the hands of the normally sure-handed Freddie Taylor. Jay, it looked like McRaney kind of broke in front of that ball. Maybe distracted Taylor, who knows? Nevertheless, incomplete. The Wildcats have a 3rd and 9, and they just cannot get going offensively here in the second half.
West has gotten going a little bit here in the second half, and certainly New Hanover has not. Drop balls, errant throws. Really not what they looked like the first 24 minutes when they were scoring pretty much at ease.
Jay, you know, if you can force a turnover here, maybe go score. Maybe it's a 3-score game, partner. That is a wide open receiver for New Hanover. That was Williams, I believe, 34.
Blake Walston's pass is complete to Travis Lee.
Travis Lee, my mistake there, thank you.
DeAndre Clarita on the stop.
That was a 20-yard
For the Trojans.
From Walston to Lee.
Well, and you know, Sam, it looked like Walston that time just took a little.
inside the 20. The ball came loose, but the officials ruled that the ground caused the fumble, so New Hanover will retain possession. About a 20-yard pickup for Wiz Vaughn on the inside handoff.
The ball spotted at the West Brunswick 19-yard line. It's a Bojangles first down. It's bow time.
And taking that inside handoff, and they have been very successful with it every time. Every time.
New Hanover with a 1st and 10 from the 19. That's Lee up the middle, makes a defender miss across the goal line, and it's a New Hanover touchdown. With 5:19 left in the third quarter, it's New Hanover 48, West Brunswick 14.
What a nice run by Lee that time, just effectively using his blockers, and just a real good touchdown run by the 5'7" junior, Travis Lee, and Gaines on to see if he can put point number 49 on the board for New Hanover.
Jay, I keep seeing these Bojangles and deli ads on the New Hanover scoreboard, and it's making me a little hungry. And I believe the pressure there for number 10, Julian LeGrand, caused Gaines to miss that extra point left. 48-14 after the failed conversion attempt. And with 5:19 left in the third quarter, it's New Hanover 48, West Brunswick 14. And it gives us a chance to once again thank the folks down at the Grissettown Longwood Fire and Rescue Haunted Trail for once again putting on a fantastic haunted trail throughout the month of October, and of course October 30th and 31st, which was Halloween night. A big thanks to all of our viewers and patrons who went down there to support those folks. I can't say enough nice things about Cal and his crew down there, and the guys and girls who volunteer at that fire department, and they've been with us as a sponsor from the early stages of the ATMC TV Games of the Week. High kickoff, fielded cleanly by Julian LeGrand. He's looking for a lane, and Jay Hill gets it out across
Julian
the 30-yard line
on the kickoff return
to the 32 for the Trojans. Boy, we've seen a lot of Julian LeGrand tonight.
You just took the words out of my mouth. Julian LeGrand has had an impact in this game here tonight for sure.
34-point lead for the Wildcats. 5:12 left in the third quarter. West Brunswick has put up 14 points on a touchdown run from Jakari Bethel and a touchdown strike from Owen McDowd and Jalen Jones Bay, but it's just been too much of Blake Walston and company for this New Hanover offense that came into tonight's game and finished the regular season averaging more than 40 points per game. Oh, McDowell's under all kinds of pressure. He eludes it. The pass is knocked down and recovered. Oh, it's ruled an incomplete pass. I thought Grant Daly made a sensational individual play, and he did, but he does not get credit for a fumble recovery as it's ruled incomplete, and Owen McDowell is slow to get up. He took a shot.
He did that time. Daly hit him as he was releasing the ball and awkwardly fell down. Hopefully he's okay. He is one tough cookie, is Owen McDowell. That kid has taken a lot of licks this year and just gets right back up and gets back into it. Great senior leadership.
Once again, an apology to our ATMC TV viewers. We had some audio difficulties there that we were trying our hardest to get resolved, and they are fixed and should be good to go for the rest of the game. A big, hard run by number 42, Jakari Bethel. Jay, I'll go on and say it. It doesn't matter what the score is. Jakari Bethel's going to be running hard.
He's, as they said in here, wide open, and that kid does run hard. He is a load 42. Jakari Bethel, he's had a really, really good season this year on both sides of the ball. When, you know, the accolades start coming in for the postseason awards, I think Bethel's going to get some votes.
McDowell looking for someone to throw to. He rifles a pass off the hands of number 23, Noah Johnson. The pass falls incomplete, and that stops the clock with 4:14 left here in the third quarter. Jay, when you said, as they say down here, wide open, it reminded me of a story, and I know I've told some stories here on the air for ATMC TV. I got another one. I'll make it quick. My dad, me, my brothers, a buddy, and a guy who played football at East Carolina went up to watch an East Carolina Marshall football game, and we were up somewhere in the sticks in Virginia. I mean the sticks, and we ran into this grandmother in Hardee's who was with her grandson, and the grandson was all over the place, and the lady looks at us and says, he has 2 speeds, satin still and wide open. As McDowell rifles a pass deep down the sideline for Cento, it's picked off by New Hanover, and the Wildcats have a return set up. And Jay, no matter how far he runs, it's going to be coming back to about the 25 or 30 yard line of New Hanover with some illegal blocks. But McDowell throws his 2nd interception of the night as he was looking for TJ Cento, but the Wildcats are going to regain possession.
Well, they're going to get the ball. They're probably not going to get it as far up the field as the return brought it. A lot of laundry out there that the officials are picking up, so we'll let them sort it out, but pretty sure it's going to go against New Hanover.
And while they do sort it out, we'd like to thank ATMC, which has served our community for more than 60 years. ATMC is your local provider for telephone, internet, digital cable, wireless, and home security. ATMC is a local company with local priorities. Contact them today at 910-755-8206 or check them out on the web at atmc.com. Boy, that was good, Jay.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
3:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Feels like we've been here since Tuesday. Lots of stoppages with the incomplete passes. I think the Arctic temperatures have something to do with it. You know, Jay, Nathan Evers, you know, with ATMC TV was telling us it was only 53 according to his phone. Boy, it feels 20 degrees colder than that as the screen pass is set up for Howard, excuse me. That was Howard who caught the screen pass. Makes DeAndre Claret miss. Makes a couple more Trojans miss, still on his feet. Wow. Finally pushed out of bounds on the far sideline.
Holy cow.
By 84. Jay, I'm not sure who 84 is for West Brunswick.
That's Jaquise Daniels?
Jaquise Daniels, the sophomore linebacker, pushes him out of bounds. But, Jay, it's cold, but this New Hanover offense is still awfully hot.
They're pretty hot. Jabez Howard showed you a little highlight reel on that run that time, so big advance upfield for the Wildcats. They are on the roll again.
That's Lee with the carry up the middle. He's got a lot of running room. He's inside the 10. He's across the goal line for a New Hanover touchdown.
There quits him.
3:35 left in the 3rd quarter. That Lee 40-yard touchdown scamper makes it New Hanover 54, West Brunswick 14.
Every time, you can't teach speed. You can't, and these kids seem to have an abundance of it, these kids being the offensive unit for the New Hanover Wildcats.
And Jay, for the Wildcats, that is 4 scoring drives of 4 plays or less here tonight. Boy, they are explosive.
Yeah, big play team for sure, and it'll be interesting as they advance into the 3A playoffs
Wesley Gaines is good.
to see, you know, just how they do, because certainly they can score the football. There's no question about it, and a pretty solid defensive unit as well. Kind of bodes pretty well for New Hanover County and New Hanover High School.
And a strong place kicker in Wesley Gaines.
Yep.
ATMC TV would like to thank Strand Termite and Pest Control for its sponsorship of our ATMC TV Games of the Week. Locally owned and operated, Strand Termite and Pest Control Company has served the Carolinas for more than 45 years. It provides comprehensive pest control services to ensure the safety and health of your residence or workplace. Using integrated pest management techniques and new science, Strand Termite and Pest Control Company proudly offers you today's most effective treatments. Enjoy fast and friendly service along with affordable prices from our company. Jay, tell our viewers a little bit about J.P. Russ and Son.
J.P. Russ and Son, where do I begin?
Start with JP. Don't you know him?
Yes, indeed, I do. Serving Brunswick County since 1947, JP Russ & Son has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. Paving, grading, clearing, drainage, and much, much more. They also haul any material, even rock. Give them a call at 754-6023.
Man, Jay was so good at doing the sponsorships.
Who is the angel that just gave us these gloves?
I believe that is the mother of number 32, Tyler Tate. She had a scheduling conflict, she told me. She'd go into the car to warm up, and the conflict being, it's cold. And she's got to go to the car. She said, tell him to have them.
Well,
and I think I just saw you light up when you put those things on there.
Energy knits, and boy, they are the nicest thing I've had in such a long time.
Jakari Bethel, the ball carrier.
Thank you, Mrs. Tate.
Oh, Jay, it's getting testy. It's getting testy here. Jakari Bethel and a New Hanover defender were,
well,
you know, not giving in there at the end of that play. And it doesn't matter what the score is. Jakari Bethel's going to keep running hard. And I believe the New Hanover defense is, am I saying this right, took umbrage?
That's one of them big words. I don't know, Sam, but it seems to fit. They better take something. If Bethel's coming at you, they better take cover.
And he's going to run that one again, steamrolling his way out to about the 35-yard line. Going to be very close to a West Brunswick first down as we're under the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter.
I mean, Bethel's going to play the same way whether they're ahead by 40 or behind by 40. You know, he's coming at you. And
first down, Trojans.
It's a physical game, and when Jakari Bethel's involved, it's a very physical game.
And Jay, while New Hanover has had the upper hand of these two matchups between the two teams this year, Bethel has now rushed for more than 140 yards in the two games, 70 in the first one, and he's about at the 80-yard mark here tonight as McDowell rumbles his way across the 45 to the 46 for another West Brunswick first down.
That's the part of the game that I thought maybe we'd see a little more tonight. But, you know, West got off to such a tough start. They got in the hole so quick and were almost forced to just, you know, throw so many times. But I really think they're very effective when Owen does those read options and runs the football. He's a tough kid and very athletic.
And Jay, McDowell has dropped back more than 25 times here tonight. And you know, y'all have watched West Brunswick play this year. That's not his game. Oh, as Bethel steamrolls a New Hanover defender and is brought down at the 40-yard line for about a 15-yard completion. Boy, Jakari Bethel is lowering or bringing the wood here on this possession.
Sam, when that young man lowers that shoulder, boy, you better get out the way. I'm looking down the aisle here for your buddy Little Man, see what he might think about that hit. Even that's acceptable, right? Not unacceptable, acceptable.
Boy, Jay, we could sit here and sing Jakari's praises all night long. I mean, there's just a lot to like with that kid. Owen looking for a receiver. He's got a man deep into coverage. The pass is caught. It's caught by the West Brunswick receiver, and he's fumbled. It's fumbled into the end zone. New Hanover's got it. A flag's going to bring it back.
Well,
that was number 81, Easton Simmons, who came up with a remarkable catch and then was stripped of the ball at the 1-yard line, and the Wildcats take over.
Boy, you talk about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. You saw it all in that one play. The thrill of catching the ball, the agony of having it taken away from you.
Heck of an individual effort from number 81, Easton Simmons. And Jay, it looked like there wasn't much he could do. He came down with it, but the guy from New Hanover had his hands in there too and just kind of wrestled it away.
I mean, a lot of solid individual play. McDowell getting the ball down there for even a chance to make the play, but it looks like when the dust settles, it's New Hanover ball, and where are they spotting it, Sam?
It's inside the 10-yard line of the Wildcats. Jay, I believe it's about the 6.
Okay.
1st and 10 from the 6-yard line for these Wildcats. And, Jay, that is the last we have seen of Mr. Blake Walston. It is I think Meehan back there, if I'm not mistaken. Hard to tell, as New Hanover's got a huge gain on 1st down, and he's still running on his feet all the way across the 25-yard line, dropped down at about the 28 for about a 22-yard gain for Travis Lee. Boy, Travis Lee is doing a lot of damage. He's got to be close to over 100 yards on the night.
So let me tell you, he came into tonight's game for the season.
26-yard line. It's a
155 yards on the ground.
He's approaching that.
He's darn close to it tonight. Let me tell you.
What class is he, partner?
He's a junior, and he's not real big, 5'7", 155, but he is lightning quick, like a lot of these New Hanover backs are.
That's a handoff up the middle, and that's big Casey Holler, and tough to see who that was. That's big Javier McCray there. Javier McCray and Casey Holler, the Shallotte Buccaneers youth football tandem there on the defensive line. They come up with a big stop there on 1st and 10.
That was a lot of big that time, and as quick as Travis Lee is, couldn't out-quick the big guys.
Well, I don't think even Jay Combs could have got away from that.
No, absolutely no. There's not even any decision on that one. Don't even bother thinking about it.
Loss of 5 yards on that 1st and 10 play is New Hanover. Oh, a big hit. I believe that's McCray. No, Russell Gore.
Oh, my soul.
Russ Gore with a huge hit on a 2nd and 15 play. Boy, that's one of the hits of the year right there, partner.
Double 4. Oh, my. Close
Double 4, Russell Gore. Close the door. And, Jay, we're about to be in quarter 4.
Yes, indeed.
After 3 quarters of play on your ATMC TV Game of the Week, first round of the State 3 AA playoffs, it's New Hanover 55, West Brunswick 14.
Bugs have to live somewhere. Make sure it's not your house. Strand Termite and Pest Control is ready to help you with your pest control needs. Whatever the bug, whatever the problem. From that pesky roach, ants, bed bugs, or termites damaging your house, Strand Termite and Pest Control has been helping families with their pest problems for 45 years. We can also encapsulate your crawl space to stop moisture and bugs in their tracks. We're proudly family-owned and operated and have 2 locations to serve you. Don't let bugs bug you. Call for a free estimate or visit us online.
ATMC Business Solutions' state-of-the-art hosted voice means more of everything. It's a smarter, more reliable communication solution that can be scaled to your specific business needs. Integrate multiple locations with little upfront investment and lower monthly costs. Our cloud-based system lets you control how you communicate, so you can focus on your business, not your phones. Local, reliable business solutions. ATMC, working to redefine your business. Call now for a free consultation.
Hey, Sam, man, it's Jay.
Hey, partner.
Didn't you tell me you know a guy that's got some heavy equipment? I need a load of dirt.
Don't worry, man. I got you.
Sam, this isn't what I had in mind.
He'll be done any time now.
I knew we should have called J.P. Russ & Son.
Serving Brunswick County since 1947, J.P. Russ & Son has become the local leader in all your heavy equipment needs. We also haul any material, even rock. Give J.P. Russ & Son a call today.
We are ATMC TV, Channel 3 and HD Channel 910, your community channel.
And we're back for the start of the 4th quarter. New Hanover's got a 3rd and back to Brunswick County here. And they're going to try the deep pass, and West Brunswick's got it well covered. The pass falls to the turf, incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th and about 20 for the Wildcats from their own 17-yard line in the early stages of the 4th quarter here.
So, as you predicted, Sam, Coach Earl Smith got his guy out of the game, Blake Walston, which with a huge 55-14 lead is probably the prudent thing to do.
Jay, this is a good opportunity for these younger guys who were called up for the playoffs and later in the season to get, a playoff game action. The experience doesn't get much better than that. Guys like William McRaney. As West Brunswick makes a big stop inside the 10-yard line of New Hanover. Xavier. I believe that's Xavier McCray there. He does. He tackles the punter who couldn't corral a low snap, and the Trojans are going to have 1st and goal at the New Hanover 5.
And LeGrand was in around the ball again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good call, partner.
He has had a great game all night long.
Timmy Sellers has been ruled out of tonight's game. Senior Tim Sellers, Jay, you noticed when he got injured there, he's got ice wrapped around his shoulder, and he has been officially ruled out of tonight's game. Owen hands it off to Bethel around the right side. Bethel looking for running room. He got
Bethel, the ball carrier.
Maybe a half yard there, and West is going to have 2nd and goal from the 5.
Stop for the Wildcats.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim's out of game, and that'll end his
2nd down.
West Brunswick football career. Don't know what's in the store for the future for the young guy, but I'll tell you what, he's one of the hard guys for West Brunswick.
2nd and goal from the 5-yard line of New Hanover. McDowell fakes the handoff to Bethel, and he is wrapped up and dropped down all the way back at the 15-yard line. And what started out as 1st and goal from the 5-yard line is now a 3rd and goal.
3rd down.
From about the 12-yard line of the Wildcats. So the 13, we'll call it the 13.
Tackle that time by Troy McCaskill, senior linebacker for New Hanover. 68 tackles coming into the game tonight, and 12 of them were tackles for loss, make it 13 as he takes down Owen McDowell on that play.
And Jay, West Brunswick head coach Kelly Williamson called a timeout on the field, and the game clock is still running. It has now been stopped. Okay. 10 minutes and 31 seconds left in the 4th quarter. West trails 55-14, and the Trojans have a 3rd and goal from the 13-yard line of the Wildcats. Jay, just to cap off our football season, I ask you this all year, I'll ask you here, what kind of play call do you like here? You trying to get it, you trying to score on this play, or get it, maybe 6 or 7, so you have a more manageable 4th and goal situation?
Well, I think we're clearly in 4-down territory, as they say, so I like it when McDowell gets the opportunity to make the decision either to throw or to run, and of course you sort of like the way Jakari's been running the ball hard here this evening, so a couple of options open for the Trojans on this down.
McDowell fakes it. That's a naked bootleg as McDowell's looking for running room around the left side. Dives for the pylon. Reaches for the pylon, and he's in there for a touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run for senior quarterback Owen McDowell with 10:24 left in the 4th quarter. That makes it New Hanover 55, West Brunswick 20. Nice job by the West Brunswick coaching staff there with a brilliant play call on 3rd and goal from the 13 as McDowell carries it in from the 13-yard line. And Jay, you're right, he does a lot of good things, and the damage he does with his legs is one of them.
I would be surprised, and we'll see, but still a lot of time left, 10:24, but that might be the last play for Owen McDowell as the quarterback for West. I see Jay Fletcher warming up down on the sidelines, and he quarterbacked that JV team to a 9-1 mark this year.
Yeah, sure did.
He is the heir apparent to the QB position for next season. Be a good opportunity to give Fletcher and a lot of the other kids some snaps here tonight in playoff atmosphere. But what a nice job and what a nice 2 years of running the Trojan attack has Owen McDowell done.
Jay, while we may have just seen the last snap of Owen McDowell's high school career, how fitting that he scores on a 13-yard touchdown run. Tell our viewers a little bit about Owen's career and what you've seen from him personally the last 2 years.
Well, I what I've always admired about the guy is, he was put in a position last year where he just had to hand the ball off to McCray, right? And you could do a lot of good when you did that. But he matured as a football player and as a quarterback last year, and I think he brought all that with him this season. And it was, he was kind of the consistency this year for the team, the glue that held them together and, helped them in the good times and held them together through the not so good times. But I like his leadership. I like his versatility. I love his athleticism and his toughness. And, you can win a lot of games and do well in life with kids like Owen McDowell.
That's exactly right. And Jay, I think it's, you talk to people out at West Brunswick, Principal Rhonda Ben, athletic trainer Megan Hardy, athletic director Jimmy Fletcher. They take 50 Owen McDowells on their football team and take it all day. He is a high character kid, works hard in the classroom. He's someone I would call a consensus team leader, whether it be in baseball, on the baseball diamond or out here on the football field. Just really want to hammer home how much Owen McDowell has meant to this West Brunswick football program during his 4 years for the Trojans. And Owen, our hats off to you from the entire ATMC TV team. We've given you a lot of accolades here in the last 2 years, and you have earned every single one of them, young man.
Well, quarterbacks, by virtue of the position, and I don't care if you're playing in the Charlotte middle school team or West or college or quarterbacks get way too much credit when things go good and way too much criticism when things go bad. But it's just because of the position. But with that position, there's a lot of responsibility, and it seems like to me Owen McDowell doesn't shirk that, and he steps up to it, and that's kind of what I admire most about the kid. I just like his leadership.
Yeah, Jay, and as Lee picks up about 5 yards on second down to set up a third, and we'll call it 6 for the Wildcats. It may be the last we've seen of Owen on the football field, but he's going to play a lot of middle infield for the West Brunswick baseball team this spring. So not as the last high school athletic event, period.
Oh, heavens no. And listen, Sam, you're a little closer to the program than I am, but from what I gather, he is one heck of a baseball player. So of the two sports, his best game might be baseball, and he's pretty doggone good at football.
New Hanover completes the pass, and the receiver runs across midfield down at about the 47-yard line for a first down. Jay, and speaking of West Brunswick baseball, there's a familiar face back at the helm after the resignation of TJ Spivey, who's still, around, very much involved. The program once again led by legendary high school baseball coach Mike Alderson, who led the Trojans to a state title in 2004. So the program is in good hands as we see Big Javian McCray wrestle the ball carrier down about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Jay, that's about 4 tackles for loss for McCray tonight.
And he gets the 2-point takedown that time with the suplex. But,
yeah,
that's something. Javian was hurt this year.
Banged up, yeah.
He missed some time in the middle of the season. I think the team missed him, and the past couple of weeks he's been back and certainly looks like he's healthy, and when he's healthy, he is a force.
Jay, since we're talking about the careers of some of the other Trojans, I feel like we'd be remiss as nice tackle there in the defensive backfield by DeAndre Clariday. Nixon rushes for about 10 yards, maybe 12, but I feel like we'd be remiss to not talk at least a little about Jakari Bethel and Russ Gore, both seniors playing in their last games for West Brunswick tonight.
Well, how often are you going to have a pair of linebackers the caliber of Bethel and Gore? I mean, statistically, they're off the mat. They're probably are in the vicinity of combined 250, 275 tackles.
Boy, that pass is complete, and somehow New Hanover gets a first down out of it. Ball carrier steps out of bounds, but the Wildcats will move the chains. 7:08 left in the game. It's New Hanover 55, West Brunswick 21.
The way the season
West Brunswick
kind of
34-yard line. It's a
played out this year, certainly Gore and Bethel as linebackers were sort of the quarterbacks, if you will, and had the opportunity to to make a lot of tackles and took advantage of that opportunity. So they'll be missed. Gore's been around forever, it seems like, you know, and Bethel just matured, I think, as a player and as a person, I'm sure, and certainly has put it together here in his senior season, both defensively and offensively. Gore is the kind of kid you want your daughter to bring home.
Sure.
Right? I mean, he's an excellent athlete, but
smart as a whip.
Really bright kid. I get scared when I'm around him because he starts talking all that science stuff, and I got no idea what he's talking about. But you know, what I do understand is the caliber of schools that are looking at him, the Ivy League schools, the Davidsons, and you know, Russ Gore is going to probably make the world a little better, Sam. And
absolutely.
That's what you hope all these kids will eventually end up doing and make their mark, you know, athletically, scholastically, whatever it is they do. A lot of these kids are going to go in the military, and
Travis Lee, the ball carrier.
They're going to be successful. That's what, you know, football of all the team sports, I think, is the one that most closely aligns with life. And you know, it's about, you know, working together and being a part of a team, and just trying to make things, you work as a unit, and you hope these lessons that these coaches.
Oh, the New Hanover ball carrier gets away from Javion McCray, but he cannot get away from the defensive backs. I believe he picks up a first down there for the Wildcats. 6:05 left in the game. New Hanover 55, West Brunswick 21. Once again, LeGrand in on the tackle for West.
Julian's had a great game.
Jay, what were some of your, I'm sorry to interrupt you, partner.
No,
you're probably used to that by now. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Saying that you as the son of a coach probably know that, you know, that this is a whole lot more than wins and losses and X's and O's. It's about life and learning how to be a good person. And that's a big person there. That's McCray again, right?
Boy, McCray has been in the New Hanover backfield most of the second half tonight, and Jay, son of a coach and brother of one.
Yeah,
you know, I know.
Let's not forget
Brett at. Coaches at Gardner-Webb University. He's a running backs coach and special teams coordinator. And, you know, I know his primary goal is to impact the lives of young men, first and foremost. You know, if you can win some football games along the way, great. Sure, that's the goal. But, you know, it's cliche, but you want to make a difference. That pass is off the hands of the receiver and then off the hands of Dylan Jeffries. And you spoke about the West Brunswick quarterback situation. Keep in mind, Dylan Jeffries, who we've seen take some snaps at quarterback this year, is back for his senior season next year. He also figures to be a key piece on the West Brunswick baseball team, a big-time right-handed pitcher. So we'll see more of him.
Absolutely. Big upside baseball-wise for Dylan Jeffries. Yeah, Sam, this year ATMC did a little differently with our Game of the Week coverage. We got around the county.
Sure did.
And we saw north quite a bit, south, certainly west. Some great games. That the North Brunswick, I think, only won one game this year. We had it.
Yeah, they
south,
on the road against a county rival, right? Jay, I just thought that was one of the highlights of this 2017 ATMC TV football season. You know, North had every reason at that point in the season to mail it in. And what do? They go on the road against a much improved South Brunswick team and pull off a win, and had to force a fumble and recover it inside their own 30-yard line late to do so.
And you know, we were at North, and I think they played North Johnston. That was probably one of the more exciting games that we were able to do all year long. We were at Wyville early on. I think
that was a season opener.
Season opener, you know.
West Brunswick comes out with a block kick, and Jay, guess who? That is big number 68, Xavier McCray, whose name we've also called a lot tonight. So the field goal attempt for New Hanover is no good, and with 4 minutes, 4 seconds left in the game, it's New Hanover 55, West Brunswick 21. Jay, West Brunswick this year is to, you know, give a summary for our viewers. Started out the year 0-4, lost all of their non-conference games. end up finishing the season with a winning record in the Mid-Eastern Conference for the second consecutive year. They had league wins over North Brunswick, South Brunswick, Ashley, and Topsail. Lost a heartbreaker against Laney.
Yeah,
and right, were beat by Hoggard and New Hanover.
Everybody loses to Hoggard.
Yeah, sure. Everybody did this year.
That's right. So
Jay Fletcher's in the game. I think that's Autry Jackson, the running back there, carries the ball, is brought down to maybe picked up a yard there on the carry. But, you know, and the season's going to come to an end tonight. But, you know, this West Brunswick team accomplished a lot this year. You know, 4-3 in the Mid-Eastern Conference is not an easy thing to do.
Well, you know, conference wins are important, and you play those first, you know, those out-of-conference games principally to get ready for your conference conference contest. And I'd say West did a pretty good job in terms of prepping for you know, that tough Mid-Eastern Conference action. Ask North Brunswick. You know, their first year in the conference,
sure,
pretty rocky, right?
Yeah, sure,
pretty rough, but it's been fun, and hopefully it's been entertaining. And you know, the ATMC does these games for lots of reasons, but principally to bring the community home to the community, right? To see your sons, your daughters, your friends, your, you know, neighbors.
Boy, Jay Fletcher very nearly intercepted by the New Hanover defense. Not sure he saw the defender there, but nevertheless, the pass falls to the turf incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 7 for the Trojans.
And, you know, as we kind of look back over the season, one of the things that was most impressive to me, in addition to the, you know, good football we saw, was the enthusiasm that we saw at these different schools. I love the bands.
Absolutely.
The bands at all these schools were phenomenal. The one at North Brunswick is great. South Brunswick, a terrific atmosphere. West Brunswick band, you know, doing their thing. It's a lot of fun.
And how about a game ball being delivered by parachuters? How about that, huh? From the South Brunswick game.
And that was a game that we saw. How many field goals was it? I lost count.
Oh, there was about 4.
Field goals.
That was the North-South game. Declan Hall made one for South, and Michael Rivers made a trio of 3-pointers for the Scorps.
And I think it kind of underscores the you know, the effort that these schools now put in with their special teams. I mean, once upon a time, you know, you couldn't find a kicker anywhere at a high school level that could, you know, if you got 1 out of 10, that was pretty good. Now you got guys like the kicker for New Hanover tonight, Wesley Gaines, who's, you know, kicked over 40-point afters this year, made 4 or 5 field goals.
Fletcher drops back to pass. The pass is intended. Jaquise, I believe, was the intended receiver there, number 84. Jaquise Daniels, the intended receiver, but it falls incomplete as Jay Fletcher was in at quarterback that possession for the Trojans. New Hanover leads 55-21. There's 2:47 left in the game. New Hanover is going to advance to the second round of the state 3AA playoffs. Other area teams, Jay, you know, worth noting before we go off the air, Hoggard got a bye in the first round. They are the number 2 seed in the 4A East region and got a bye and will host a second round playoff game this week. New Hanover certainly has a chance to advance deep in the 3AA bracket as Xavier McCray very nearly comes up with a tackle for loss. 20, William McRaney, and 21, DeAndre Clariday in on that tackle for the Trojans. 2.5 minutes left in the game. West trailing by 34 points. Jay, you know what's odd? Look how close the scores were when these two teams played each other, and not the closeness of the game. New Hanover won the first game 52-21. Tonight it's 55-21.
Second down.
It's safe to say they're about 30 to 35 points better, have been this year.
At least this year, it's probably safe to say that that's a big enough sample size to think that New Hanover's 5 touchdowns better, at least this year for West.
And, you know, Jay, really nothing to be ashamed about. New Hanover's 5 touchdowns better than a lot of teams.
Yeah, pretty much everybody they played this year with the exceptions of Hoggard, which tells you how good Hoggard is.
Oh, boy.
Regardless, you know, and it looks like this will be it for Brunswick County schools in the playoffs this year, but certainly the new Hanover County schools, we wish them all the luck in the world, and it would be awesome to bring home a couple of state titles to Wilmington.
And Jay, this is a good picture we have here on the near sideline. I don't know if we'll get it or not, but you got seniors, Jakari Bethel and Owen McDowell, just kind of taking in the action, you know, a good 30 to 40 yards away, and head coach Kelly Williamson coming up and speaking to Jakari, and you know, it's a good. It's a tough moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tough. I experienced it, you know, playing in the last time you're ever going to put on those pads. It's a you know, tough thing to deal with, but you know, the contributions that Bethel, McDowell, kids like Russ Gore, Monty Stanley, Tim Sellers, you know, I could go on and on. The contributions those kids made to this program are just invaluable. And keep in mind, Jay, all those kids were part of last year's team that went 9-4 and had one of the best single seasons in West Brunswick history.
So they're going to look back on their high school football careers, and they don't have anything to hang their heads about. You know,
sure.
It's going to be a very positive. You see a lot of hugs going on down there now, as well. Well, they should.
Ball spotted at the West Brunswick 11.
Jay, special thanks from me personally to Mr. Nathan Evers and Mr. Aaron Varnum of ATMC and ATMC TV. Without those guys, I'm probably up in that press box here tonight. I owe y'all one.
Well, that's for sure. What a nice sight there on the sideline. The seniors all huddled up together, and you'd like to know what you know, what they're saying to each other, but that's the part. That's the part exactly. That's why this game is so important. Not the game so much, but what you learn from it. And I'd say the kids in the green and white did a pretty good job of learning a lot.
And that is the end of the game from Legion Stadium in Wilmington. The New Hanover High School Wildcats advance to the second round of the state playoffs with a 55-21 victory over West Brunswick. For the entire ATMC TV team and Jay Combs, I'm Sam Hickman. Thanks to all of our viewers for joining us this year on our ATMC TV High School Football Games of the Week. From Legion Stadium in Wilmington, good night.
We are ATMC TV, Channel 3 and HD Channel 910, your community channel.